All right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a beautiful Saturday morning, October 28th. We get to all get together here today for the World Championship of 3D CAD speed modeling. So crazy that we are winding down on the finals of the Elite 8. So we started out with 32 runners, we chopped it down to 16 runners, we're now down to 8 runners, and really we're down to our final 4 in that bracket, and then we go to the official final 4, which is going to take place on November 11th in 2 weeks. So we are winding down to the very end of this tournament. It's an exciting time. It's great to see everybody here in the chat. So many old friends here in the chat. Looking forward to giving shout outs to everybody, but I'm not going to go through it right away because today we have a very, very special guest with us doing co-commentary, and I want to make sure that I introduce him, and then we can go through and give some shout outs to the chat together. So if you guys are in the chat, put a 1 in the chat, please, for our very special co-commentator, Jon Hirschtick. Welcome, Jon. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Toby, I'm great. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me back. I'm honored to be invited. Can't wait to see the competition. And Toby, you're a great friend of the CAD user community. So that makes you a great friend of mine. So I'm just thrilled to be here.
Wow.
Looking forward to great action.
I'm honored. Yeah. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some great action as well. Have you been following the tournament at all? You got anybody who's really caught your eye?
Unfortunately, I watched some of the tournament. I can't say I followed every single match, but I have watched some. As you know, I try and tune in when I can. And so it's just exciting to see, and it's a great motivator for people to learn and improve their skills, including me. I know I'm going to learn some things today.
Well, I don't know exactly how much you're going to learn, but I love that answer as an engineer because, one, you're qualifying your answer with a lot of technical details. Very important. You qualify the answer. And two, you're leaving the door open. Like, I can always learn more. Like, yeah, maybe I'm the founder of SolidWorks. Maybe I'm the founder of Onshape. But, hey, I can still learn more, you know. And if you guys don't know, Jon is here with us. I would consider you, Jon, really the godfather of CAD. You really have brought CAD to the masses in all of your accomplishments over your career. And I mentioned this last time you were on the show. You know, I did have a slide that had all those accomplishments, but really I just like to refer to you as my friend who gets excited about 3D CAD because every time I talk to you and we get into these discussions of 3D CAD, of techniques, of different trends in the industry, your eyes light up and you just still get so excited. And it's like, this is my people right here.
All right. Well, I always say, Toby, you know what I say? I say, I've been doing this for 42 years. People ask me, what was it like in the beginning or when you're in the early days? And I say, today now is still the beginning. These are still the early days because in my opinion, we're only about half done with the work the industry needs to do on CAD, PDM, simulation. And with all these new things coming in, AI, generative, implicit modeling, all these wild new things. It's just, so I feel like we've got to keep building better and better tools for users. And that's
one thing that Michael brought up. Michael LaFleche was my co-commentator last week. I know you know Michael.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
And one thing that he brought up that I thought was a really, really interesting observation, and it resonated with a lot of the people in the chat, was that the newer generation of CAD users tends to create their models in more of an additive manufacturing approach, where the traditional, the older school community tends to build it in a little bit more of like a subtractive manufacturing approach, a little bit more of like a machining or a lathe approach, as opposed to just like building it up layer by layer the way a 3D printer might. And so I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, and in fact, Michael, I don't know if you mentioned it, but a great source on that is at the University of Toronto. There's a professor there, Allison, I think she just got married and changed her last name, but used to be Olachewski. Allison does research in CAD users, and her team has shown through research, Toby, this is the case. They have a lot of people do modeling. I think you're familiar with some of that research, right?
Yeah, yep. I follow a little bit of her work.
Yeah, maybe I'll if I find a link here, should I throw it in the chat?
That would be terrific. Yeah.
Great, we'll do. It's really interesting stuff. So
yeah. Well, that's great. Well, I'm looking forward to continuing to talk to you about a lot of this knowledge that you have acquired over the years. You mentioned the number 42. I love the number 42. I'm a huge fan of Douglas Adams, of Life, the Universe, Everything, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And at the center of that Venn diagram of life, the universe, and everything is the number 42. And there's something special about that number. I know that when I went on my journey around the sun 42 times, I definitely felt like that was one of my peak years. So looking forward to to seeing if that number comes up any more throughout this tournament.
Ooh, that's I didn't even think of that connection. So
yeah. Well, my second title for you is the absolute GOAT, the greatest of all time. So thank you so much for being here with us today, guys. Make sure you say hi to Jon in the chat. Make sure if you have any questions, you can ask those questions. And let's get into it here and talk about the tournament. We are on our way to November 11th. If you go to tootalltoby.com/calendar, you can sign up for the November 11th. Just as a reminder, it'll have the live stream there. If you're in the Pennsylvania area, the Lansdale area, you can come join us for the watch party for the finals. We're gonna watch it all together. We got some fans of the different runners who are gonna be there live joining us. We've had some people reach out to us and say, I'm really excited about Ivan making it into the Final Four. I'm really excited about Victor K making it into the Final Four. I want to come out. I want to show my support. So we're going to have a live event for all of those fans. And if you happen to be in the Pennsylvania area, come on out and join us. If not, you can certainly watch the live stream on November 11th in 2 weeks. And just a quick public service announcement here. That is going to be at 11 a.m. East Coast time. Now, we're going to actually start the live stream closer to 10 o'clock East Coast because there is a daylight savings time change between now and then. And I don't know if it's just me or if it's the entire engineering community, but I really struggle when daylight savings happens. I was so thankful when cell phones came out and they automated that process of like resetting my clocks. But generally for the next couple of weeks after daylight savings, I miss appointments. And so let's just all make sure that we stay on top of that. It's 11 a.m. East Coast. That's when we're going to officially kick it off. But we're actually going to kick it off an hour early, just as like a little bit of pre-game, hanging out, kind of fly on the wall type of stream. Again, if you are in the Lansdale, Pennsylvania area, you can visit us tootalltoby.com/finals. You can sign up. You can come and join us on that day. We're going to have an event in Lansdale, Pennsylvania, an epic event at a major conference center. It's going to be a fun time. So come on out and join us if you can in person. Otherwise, be sure to join us on the live stream. All right, the World Championship 2022. The bracket started out way back on July 15th, the Black Bracket. The Black Bracket is sponsored by JOKOENGINEERING. JOKOENGINEERING, making all your 3D CAD dreams come true. Does a lot of different CAD tips and tricks and tutorials, and he's sponsoring us in the Black Bracket. And last week we saw Ivan the Reasonable from Canada become the champion of the Black Bracket. He's going to join us on November 11th. We move over to the Blue Bracket. The Blue Bracket started out July 15th with Juiced. The number one seed in the tournament was the very first person to run or ran on the very first day of the tournament. He chopped his way through the competition until last week he ran into Victor K, absolute SolidWorks wizard. Flawless run, Jon. That match between Victor K and Juiced, I'm in the process of cutting some highlights of that match. I don't think that Victor K made any mistakes, or if he did, it was maybe like one mistake. And
wow,
that's what it took to defeat Juiced. Juiced is so fast. Juiced was screaming through the final point that Victor got. Juiced answered correctly within about 2 seconds of Victor K answering correctly. So yeah, it was really intense, and Victor K just put on a clinic as far as how to model without making mistakes. Very impressive, very cool to watch.
It's key.
Yeah.
It's key.
Yep. And the Blue Bracket's sponsored by our friends at SolidBox, mysolidbox.com. If you guys are ever in the market for some professional CAD or CAM hardware for computers, check out mysolidbox.com. They will set you up with a computer that just works. You get it out of the box and it just works. They go in-house. They go through. They configure the BIOS. They make sure you have the right type of RAM. They make sure that the graphics card is the proper spec, has the proper drivers. They actually load their own build of Windows that has all of the bloatware stripped out. So they really take care of their customers, and most customers of SolidBox become customers for life. So check them out, mysolidbox.com. The next time you or your team is in need of hardware, they will definitely hook you up.
No bloatware. That is a great reason.
No bloatware.
I mean, I hate bloatware.
Yeah, and they, a lot of times, at least in my career, you get a brand new computer, you order a computer from Dell, it shows up, and then you have to go to your IT department and be like, the way that the laptop is set up, if I'm running on battery, it throttles the graphics card, and then I can't run SolidWorks, or I can't do this, I can't do that. Can you configure this? And then IT is like, what do they always say? Did you submit a ticket? And then you're like, oh God, I just need this one thing changed.
I have this image of the 90s and 2000s PCs. You get the box and it would be just covered with logos of all this useless software that would be cluttering up your machine. And you got to get rid of it. And we don't like that. So,
or the other thing is, I would go to IT and I'd say, hey, something's going on with my laptop. It seems like whenever I run it on battery, SolidWorks doesn't run as well. I'm not sure why. And you know what they would always say? Have you rebooted it?
Yeah.
They always say that to me, and I'm like,
have you rebooted? Well, what do you expect would happen?
Yep, I rebooted
Have you rebooted it? Have you rebooted it in the last hour?
They keep
asking. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's not what let's get to what people came for. They didn't come to hear me talking bloatware.
I think they partly came to hear us talking. You know, they like hearing us chatting it up.
I am bummed. I can't make it live on November 11th, Toby.
Well,
I don't know. I think just really bummed about that.
I think this is just we're just at the beginning. So I would love for you to be there, but I'm sure that we are going to get together for one of these tournaments together in person, do some live co-commentary together. Maybe we'll do some tournaments up in Boston. You know, maybe we'll figure it out. Eventually, we're going to do the tournament in Las Vegas in the Sphere. So that's the final goal.
I'm down for that.
We're going to get to. Yeah. So I mean, if nothing else, we'll be there together. Yeah. So, Matt, can you imagine flying into Vegas and seeing 3D CAD speed modeling on the Sphere from the plane? How awesome is that going to be?
Oh, there you go. That sounds fantastic.
We're going to get there. The green bracket, we picked up a new sponsor for the green bracket, Revopoint. Revopoint makes 3D scanners. We're going to talk a little bit more about Revopoint here after the intro, but huge thank you to Revopoint. If you're ever in the market for a 3D scanner, visit revopoint.com. And in the green bracket on July 22nd, we saw AaronC. And AaronC was able to chop his way all the way through to today, to the Elite 8. But back on August 26th, we saw Pranav. And Pranav also was able to defeat his competition, including defeating Joush. And Joush was the number 2 seed in the tournament, running Inventor. So the Pranav versus Joush match was awesome. I did cut a highlight of that. It's on the YouTube channel if you guys want to watch that matchup. And so today we get to see AaronC from the United States.
Toby, I know Pranav, man. Well, I've seen him model, and he's not to be trifled with.
Yeah,
so
this
I'm expecting good performance from Pranav today.
Yeah. But AaronC also, you know, he's done his research. He's been in the lab. Yeah. He's doing all the practice models. He's going back and watching the previous tournaments.
I gotta say, Toby, I've seen fewer competitions than you, but AaronC's pregame warm-up, which we've been able to see here, as in prep, I don't want to disclose any competitive secrets, but I have to say it's impressive.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell a lot, just like at baseball, you can tell a lot by batting practice, what's going to be going on that day. So clearly he's come to win, and he's got a pregame ritual to warm up. And, you got to tip your cap to that, because preparing, failure to prepare is to prepare to fail.
Yes.
So I like the preparation, AaronC. I can see it. Not going to give away any secrets of your prep, but I'm tip of the cap.
Yeah. Yep. We get a little behind the scenes action here. We get to kind of see these guys warming up ahead of time. So it's very cool. And then finally, over in the red bracket, is sponsored by our friends at Alibre. Alibre makes 3D CAD software that is affordable yet easy to use, very capable, and they have actually put up seats for everyone in the tournament. So everybody who ran the tournament gets a seat of 3D CAD from our friends at Alibre. Really, really awesome to have them partnering with us and saying, hey, we want to make sure that everybody can get 3D CAD. And so in the red bracket, we've got Imants. Started on July 22nd, fought his way all the way through some tough competition, including JMD, who I believe was the either 3rd or 4th seed in the tournament, was able to defeat him, and now today faces off against Jehan Refaa. We had 2 competitors from Egypt this year. Jehan was one of them, and she has made it through all the way to this Elite 8 matchup against Imants. It's going to be a tough matchup. We're going to see some Onshape versus SolidWorks today. I'm very excited to see how these competitors run it. I think everyone agrees that the match that Jehan had with Jack Sato with the duct was one of the toughest models we've seen in the tournament so far. And so I think she got some great practice in that one. She's definitely going to be tough to beat. Imants has got his work cut out for him.
Well, and Imants, of course, is following the footsteps of his brother, which are big shoes to fill, and big high bar. But, it's cool to see the sibling obviously they raise them right CAD wise in the Smidgens family.
They start them on CAD when they're right out of the womb. Yeah.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. So it's really impressive to see, inspiring.
Yeah, Imants is the younger brother of Alnus, who is currently the world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling. And due to some scheduling conflicts, Alnus was not able to enter this year. So this year we are going to see a new champion crowned, but will that trophy remain in the family? We will find out. We'll find out.
So interesting. It's like the Venus and Serena Williams of CAD speed modeling. Here.
I think that's a great video thumbnail. I got some plans for that one. I got to write that one down. All right, guys. Well, what we did here was we started out with 32 runners from all around the world. We had 15 countries represented, and we had 8 different CAD systems being represented when this tournament began. But now, as we close out the Elite 8, we are down to just 4 countries: Canada, Egypt, India, United States, and, just 2 CAD systems remaining: Onshape and SolidWorks. So very interesting to see how this all shakes out. Imants is the last standing Onshape user, so just a little bit of extra pressure there for Imants for today. He's gotta pull through here if he wants to keep Onshape on the roster. Otherwise, we're gonna see an all SolidWorks Final 4. Very, very interesting. I want to, of course, say thank you to my team, Mrs. Tall Toby, who does all the scheduling coordination, helps working with all of the runners, making sure that we have all the info we need from them. And, of course, Bodie McBoatpants, my web dev guy, makes sure that all the forms are set up properly, makes sure that the runners know where to go, manages the leaderboard, which we're going to be using the leaderboard for the next round of qualifications here very soon. Big announcements coming out here in the next couple of weeks about the qualifications for the next tournament. So huge shout out to Mrs. Tall Toby and Bodie McBoatpants. And of course, all of you out there, if you want to help support this channel, be sure to like. It's the easiest way to support the channel. Looks like we got about almost 69 people watching, and we got 28 likes. So let's see what we can do to get those two match up. We always want to have a 1-to-1 ratio of viewers and likes, and it really helps. If you're here for the first time, welcome, and be sure to subscribe. That way you'll get notifications about the upcoming matches. And of course, if you like what you see here today, take a screen capture, share it on your social media. Let's keep growing the channel. And speaking of support, is there a prize? Absolutely. We couldn't have these prizes without our amazing sponsors of these brackets. And the prizes are really, the lion's share is really going to the final 4 people. So everybody's trying to make it to become champion of their bracket. Everybody's trying to make it to November 11th for the final 4, because 3rd and 4th place are going to get $125 USD each. Second place is going to get $250 USD, and our champion is going to win $500 USD. So that's a lot of cheddar in and of itself, especially depending on where you are in the world. But beyond that, that sponsorship is provided by our friends at SolidBox. I mentioned SolidBox before. If you're ever in need for some professional CAD or CAM workstations, check them out, mysolidbox.com. They will absolutely take care of you. Got a little bug or something in my throat. Joko Engineering makes a lot of fun content about tips and tricks for 3D CAD. He recently crossed over 50,000 subscribers and made these really cool videos where he did this kind of hexagonal pattern on a curved surface of the YouTube play button. He did it using Alibre. He did it using FreeCAD. He posts videos on Onshape. He posts videos on a lot of different CAD systems. So check out Joko Engineering. Joko will make all of your 3D CAD dreams come true. Start visiting him, start watching his YouTube channel, subscribe to his YouTube channel. And then along the way, we picked up some additional sponsors, including Alibre. And Alibre said, we want to make sure that everyone has our amazing 3D CAD system, powerful yet easy to use 3D CAD software that's affordable. Alibre comes in 3 different flavors: Atom 3D, Pro, and Expert. And they sell their software on a lifetime license. When you purchase their software, you can install it in your computer. You can use it for life. And so what Alibre did was they said, listen, everybody who entered this tournament put in some time. We want to make sure that they can enter again in the future if they want to. We want to make sure that they have their own seat of 3D CAD. So they said everybody in the tournament, 31st through 3rd place, gets a lifetime license of Alibre Atom 3D. Second place is going to get the lifetime license of Alibre Design Pro. And first place, the champion, is going to get a lifetime license of Alibre Design Expert. So huge prizes here from our friends at Alibre. Huge thank you to the Alibre team. I see the chat going nuts for Alibre. So thank you so much to the team at Alibre for sponsoring this tournament and really just for hooking up all the runners with 3D CAD. That's awesome. You're gonna, maybe you have a seat of CAD at work, but you don't have anything at home. Well, now you have yet another option to get some CAD at home. And we recently picked up another sponsor, Revopoint. Now, Revopoint, revopoint3d.com, they were founded in 2014 with PhD experts from internationally renowned research institutes, and the Revopoint team is at the forefront of innovation in the 3D scanning industry. Their aim is to make 3D scanners more accessible and affordable, to empower designers, makers, engineers, car enthusiasts, and many others to take advantage of cost-saving 3D model creation. And Revopoint 3D's scanners' excellent performance, portability, and ease of use have made them an industry sales leader with end users in more than 150 countries and regions worldwide. So Revopoint's been around for a while in the 3D scanner game, and what they have done for our tournament is they've said third and fourth place are both going to get a 3D scanner. So really, the pressure is on to make it through today. Whoever gets through and wins their bracket today is going to be a bracket champion, is going to get one of these 3D scanners. And second place is going to get a Revopoint Range 3D scanner. And first place is going to get the Revopoint Mini 3D scanner. So this is going to be awesome. Huge shout out to Revopoint, our sponsor, for hooking this up. And John, I see in the chat, you said, have not seen Revopoint scanners before?
Had not, Yeah. I'm always learning. I mean, this looks like great gear. And Toby, just a plug. I mean, I'm seeing a ton more scan data, STL data, data from digital art tools that are coming in as meshes into the CAD world. People need to work with them. Hint, hint, maybe a future modeling exercise involving some mesh data.
Yeah.
At least as a test example, Toby, maybe not tournament ready, but, like Major League Baseball, you got to introduce these ideas at the low levels of the game before they make it to the major league. So I'd be all in on that. And, you could give people a scanned mesh or an STL mesh as the basis for something to model on.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I really like that. Or, I mean, what about the in-person events? When we start doing the in-person events, we could have some, some scanning competition. There's a lot of room to grow here for sure.
A lot of things there, and the scanning gear is improving. It's good. This is good for me to know about these scanners because I do, obviously, it looks like a great little product line here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm excited too. I'm also a Revopoint or soon to be Revopoint user. I got one on the way to me, so I'm excited to start using mine, to start doing some scans, making some videos, letting people know kind of some different tips and tricks that I learned along the way. So yeah, I'm very excited. Excited
also,
to see what these guys got.
Toby, in my opinion, the CAD systems have very different approaches. Yeah, everyone's got extrude and fillet and shell, but when it comes to working with mesh data, there's some very different approaches to how that goes, and I have my own opinions on it. But I think you'd really flesh that out as you watch people use different systems.
Yeah, that's good to know too. Anything in particular that you think we should be looking out for?
Well, again, not sure this is. I know we want to get to the action of the tournament, but I would say, to me, I am not a big fan of these. Just convert the mesh to a NURBS or something like that. I don't personally like that stuff. Instead, what we're doing is allowing our modeling tools to work with meshes and NURBS, and precise geometry together, even in one object. Where a face, you can take a mesh and drill a hole through it, and the hole is a perfect cylinder, and the mesh stays a mesh, and it's one solid object. That is in my opinion, that is the first class way to do it, and that's what. And tomorrow there'll be more of this mesh scan STL data. There'll be more. Generative is another reason it's happening. Latticing and generative mean we're producing these things. So you're going to see more of it tomorrow than you saw yesterday. So these problems are growing, getting bigger, coming soon to professional work near you. And so anyway, that's my opinion. Use a unified mesh and precise modeler, not these conversion ideas. Bad idea.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. Definitely good to look out for as we get into absorbing more and more of this mesh data. I think we're just going to see more and more of this all throughout the industry.
Agree.
Now, one thing that Revopoint is doing right now is they are kicking off. I think it actually kicked off just a few days ago. Their Kickstarter for the Revopoint Morocco 3D scanner. So 3D scanning redefined with this Morocco 3D scanner. Their Kickstarter is up and running right now, and it gives you the ability to create your 3D scans all from one standalone device. So it's got a built-in 2K AMOLED display, which means that you don't need a computer or a phone. You can just do all of the scanning right from this device. It's got a built-in screen. The screen even flips up so you can jump into kind of a selfie mode with that screen. And it can capture in both large and small format because it's got an array. It's got 4 different depth camera modules. So you don't need 2 different scanners if you're doing large format objects versus small format objects. It's kind of their all-in-one solution that they're coming out with. And there's some information down in the description of this video. If you want to sign up for this Kickstarter, you just go down into the description of this live stream, and there's some information about that from Revopoint. But it can capture color scans as well with its 48 megapixel RGB camera and flash. It can do 3D models with impressive color and textures effects. So be sure to check that out. Check out that link down below. Check out the new Revopoint Morocco 3D scanner, which, like I said, it just kind of has everything all in one.
Wow.
All in one unit. Yeah, you don't have to bother hooking it up to your phone, making sure you have the right cables, making sure you have the right drivers. You're able just to kind of do it all in one from Revopoint.
Wow. Cool product. And you know what? This is all, your championships is about CAD, but CAD is all about building cool products. And so let's celebrate a cool product design here. This looks really nice. And, that's why we're all working on these tools and skills. And, oh, wow. And they've, not let anyone likes it. It's been up for like 2 days and they've raised $2 million.
Wow.
No, come on.
Let's go.
Is that real, Toby?
It's
Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the actual live link, right? At the Revopoint live link that you're looking at there for that stat.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Kickstarter page. It says the goal was 60,000. They've raised 1.7 million.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, probably the majority of that is from people watching the tournament and going through the Kickstarter from there.
Yeah, clearly. Let's see. But, I mean, I love that you're covering breaking news here because this is brand new. I've never seen a product like this. Again, I'm not a world expert in scanning, but I see a lot of scanners in industry, and I've not seen a product like this. And it looks like a nice design. I just like the attention they've put into the surfacing and the grips there.
Yeah, the grips. They look so cool. Yeah. And like I said, that screen even flips up so you could do kind of like a selfie. Or what I was thinking when I saw that, I wasn't thinking so much selfie, but I was thinking if you need to get into a corner and, take something at a funky angle, it'd be nice to be able to see what you're scanning. So yeah, this looks great. Really cool device. Yeah. So huge thank you to Revopoint, our sponsor of the Green Bracket. Make sure you guys check out that link down in the description. You can go to the Kickstarter. You can sign up for the Kickstarter. Make sure you get all your info. And if you're ever in the market for a 3D scanner, check them out, Revopoint. And with that, let's get into it here. Let's get into what we're doing today, October 28th, the Green Bracket and the Red Bracket. And we're going to start out here in the Green Bracket with AaronC, BSME, Dog Dad versus Pranav, Certified SolidWorks Professional. Let's see what these guys have for us. And then we're going to take a look at the Red Bracket, sponsored by Alibre. We're going to see Imants using Onshape going against Jehan Refaa using SolidWorks. So how do these matches work? Well, what we do is we show our runners a 2D print, and then our runners try to turn that into a 3D model. They try to calculate the mass based on the material properties in the title block, and they try to enter that mass directly into the YouTube chat. Now, the rules for the tournament are that it is a best of 3, or really a first to 2 points. You have to earn the 2 points. We've seen in the past when John and I have been doing commentary that one of the runners didn't show up. We don't give the other runner a free pass. He still has to come up with those points. You have to earn the points. So first to win 2 points is going to move on, is going to be declared the champion of the bracket, is going to move into the Final Four on November 11th. While our runners are answering, they're allowed to answer incorrectly one time. If you answer incorrectly, I'll say, I'm sorry, John, that is not correct. Please try again. And then John would enter try to look through his model and find where the mistake was. And then he's going to try to enter it correctly. If you answer it wrong a second time, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, John, you are no longer eligible for this point. And then I will put a 5-minute clock up for your opponent. And then they will have 5 minutes to come up with the correct answer. If nobody gets it, it'll just be a push, and we'll go on to the next match. I want to just remind everybody in the chat that you guys can play along. I'm going to be showing a 2D print in full screen. You can grab a screen capture. You can try to model it yourself, but please do not help. So don't post the mass in the chat. And if they get stuck, don't help them. Don't be like, hey, you should do that as a shell, or you forgot to add the fillet. You know, don't say anything like that. We'll be trying to monitor the chat, but the best way that you can flex is you can just say, I got it. That's the best way to do it.
Why do I think you're directing that at me, Toby, to keep my mouth shut on suggestions?
No. You and I are fine. I think we're gonna do great.
I don't know. I'm gonna be tempted to say stuff, but
I think a lot of times the runners get very zoned in and they can't hear anything they're saying anyway. So
yeah, they wouldn't notice anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, but just remember, guys, these guys are the stars today. Let's let them shine. Let's let them really show off, what they're capable of. And so this first match is going to take place here in the green bracket between Pranav and AaronC. Now, I reached out to our runners before the show and asked them if they wanted to share anything about themselves. AaronC is BSME dog dad, and he shared with us this really cool picture of him and his dog. Looks like they're up on a mountain. And an example of some work that he's done. Looks like some sheet metal, some manufacturing here. Looks like those are like threaded rods in place in a nice array. Looks almost like some carbon fiber on the back plate there. So really, really cool. And I just think it's a great picture as well. Like, look at that up on the mountain. How did he get up there with the dog? Looks like he's got some walking sticks. Really, really cool. So that's the kind of stuff that I would like doing, just go out in the afternoon, disconnect from everything, go out for a long hike. It must have taken him a long time to get up there. That does not look like just kind of like go down the street and get there.
No, that's not.
And Pranav,
is that a Dartmouth College shirt?
It looks like it. Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah.
Yeah, graduate of Dartmouth.
Nice. I
don't know. Maybe.
And Mendy in the chat says, love this photo. Yes. Yep. That is an awesome photo. Totally awesome. So, and then Pranav, same thing. I asked Pranav to send me some info about himself. And Pranav sent us this picture of himself. He looks great in this picture. And then he sent us this gun model and then a gun rendering with some rounds there on the table. And he says this gun is from Call of Duty Mobile. It's called the RUS79U. It was modeled and rendered during the pandemic back in 2021 when I was playing Call of Duty Mobile a lot. So I think that's really impressive.
This is screenshot of that going straight to one of my sons who's a big Call of Duty player.
Nice. Yeah, you got to wonder, like, how did he get the specs for it? Is it just, did he eyeball it up from the thing? Did he do research? Like,
nice.
Either way, it looks great. Yeah.
Nice rendering, too.
Really nice.
I really like the render.
Yeah, it looks great. That blue really pops. So nice job, guys. Just a little bit more about our runners as we wind down here, getting to the finals. And we're going to do a quick practice round here for our runners just to kind of get them warmed up, just to make sure that we have everything that we need in place, and then we'll go with the official matchups here. So here we go. We're going to flip over to full screen. We're going to let our runners take a look at this practice print in 3, 2, 1, go. So what is the mass of this part in XXX.XX grams? Even though the tolerance is plus or minus 1 gram, you can see that this part is a lug. It's 21 thick, 21 tall, 21 diameter hole, 21 radius. Let's see what these guys come up with for an answer for this one. I'm going to flip over to the CAD versus CAD screen here. We got AaronC on the left running SolidWorks in dark mode. We got Pranav on the right running SolidWorks in standard mode. Both of them running SolidWorks 2020. Interesting choice here.
Yeah, that's my first point of comment, Toby. I mean, 3-year-old software. I think we should pay more attention to the versions used. It's just kind of interesting to see. Wondering right away, that's a deliberate choice, or haven't gotten around to upgrading, or
very very interesting
status or something. It's interesting to think about. I don't know.
Well, both of our runners look like they're plowing through this thing, and looks like the answer that AaronC came up with was 201.21. That was kind of my big Easter egg for this one. 201.21. Lots of 21s in here, and of course, 21 plus 21 is
42.
42. It's gonna keep coming up. I know it throughout the day. Today is the day of 42.
And I'm in a hotel traveling. I'm on the 21st floor.
Whoa. Okay, here we go.
You know that.
Here we go. This is it. All right. Well, both of our runners got that. Everything in the technical side of things looks good. And so now, in order to make this a truly Too Tall Toby style event, we have to bring up the Wheel of Fate. So here it is, the Wheel of Fate. If you guys are in the chat, you know what to do. If you're here for the first time, what we like to do is we like to guess what the number is going to be. Now, I'm going to randomize these numbers a little bit for everybody just to really, truly make this random. And this is going to determine what print our runners get. So I see Gary Bruce is here. What's up, Gary? I'm going to give some shout-outs now. Nico Concarne is here. Nico Concarne going with 69, the old standby. Will is here, 69. AaronC, 71. Tayfun, 64. Midlife Chaos is here. What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. Roberts Petersons is here, 65. Liam, 66. Let's see here. Ex Machina Engineering, 65. Me-Win, 70. Rich Penn, 66. Zach is here, 64. Jon Hirschtick is here, 72. We got Leo Diovan, 66. Larry Watson is here, 72. JD52WTF just says the number 8. I like it. Mantis is here, 70. Gino, 69. Always 69. Yep, good answer. Ryan Dex, 71. Zach, 64. Amir, 72. Gino says, let's go, Aaron. He's just ready to get into it here. And AMO Alex is here. Mr. Alex coming in with 60. Welcome, welcome. And I did see Jason Cannon was in here a little bit earlier saying hello. What's up, Jason? John, in case you're not aware, Jason Cannon is my CAD mentor. Taught me pretty much everything I know about CAD. So
wow.
Yep.
Big shout out to him.
Big shout out to Jason. Yep. So
yeah.
Welcome, Jason. Thanks for joining us today. And let's give this wheel a spin and see what the Wheel of Fate has in store for our runners today.
Here we go.
Wow. Let's see what we got. And it looks like, oh, it's right on the line. There it is, baby. Wow. Oh. There it is. Wow. So we all knew that's what it was going to be, and that's what it ended up being. All right. Well, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Congratulations to everybody who guessed that. We all knew it had to be that. And it was. These are all good omens for sure. So what we've got here is we've got AaronC. He designed and built his own 3D printer from scratch. Sometimes it even works. Nice. Worked as a ski instructor for 11 years. Still love to teach whenever I find the opportunity. And love rock climbing, but I'm terrified of heights. Interesting. And Pranav started using SolidWorks in 2020, so relatively new to SolidWorks, and interested in mechanisms. Very nice. So, John, what do you think? You got any advice for these guys going into this first match?
I think, stay relaxed, stay focused. And like you say, fewer errors, taking a little more time, but avoiding error is certainly important. At this level of competition, you're going seconds will matter. Every single operation. I also think that pregame routine, really like that. That could play in. So
yeah, he's all warmed up.
Go get him.
Yeah. He even Aaron actually shared with us before the stream that he uses a custom mouse with some custom mouse buttons, a special Logitech mouse with multiple mouse buttons on it, and that he had a hardware failure this morning. That his mouse was not working, and so he had to run out, find a local supplier that actually had that type of mouse, and he actually bought 2. He bought a backup just in case it didn't work. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's ready. That. Yeah, he's ready. All right, guys. Well, I think both of our runners are ready. I think we are ready to get into this match. I'm ready. John's ready. So here we go. We're gonna flip over to full screen now, and this first CAD battle between AaronC and Pranav. We've got United States versus India. We've got SolidWorks versus SolidWorks. This CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? The tolerance is plus or minus 3 grams. There's a couple of notes here in magenta. I always want you guys to look out for those notes in magenta. We got 3 different radii. So look out for those 3 different radii. We got a couple of different angle dimensions, so make sure you look out for them.
Wow.
And we've got a note of tangency. Yep, this transport hanger. Both of our runners are already jumping into CAD, so make sure you grab a screen capture and let's take a look.
I got my screen capture.
All righty.
I've gotten better at catching it quickly and using less time making it interesting. You know, it's interesting right out of the gates here to see how both of them seem to be going at it from the same you know, the same view, you know, the same initial sketch direction here.
Yeah, both runners, AaronC on the left, Pranav on the right, both using SolidWorks, both putting the origin at the same spot, both creating almost the same sketch to begin with.
Yeah,
very interesting.
And not too surprising, because I would say, you know, again, I'm not as good at modeling as most of the people here, but you know, I would choose that. I was just thinking to myself, I would choose that as well. Kind of get going there.
Well, it's great to see. It's great to see them using this technique. It's also great to see in the chat some different people cheering them on. So we got GBCX Prime saying, "Come on, Aaron!" It's awesome to see people in the chat cheering on the runners. So if your runner is in there, make sure you show them some support in the chat. Looks like we've already got our first solid feature here from Pranav. So he took that first sketch, kind of split it up into two different features, and is now getting into his second feature. Getting in here with this side view.
My sense is this is a little, you know, this is a little more, takes a little more thought than some of the models you've shown. Like this is at the harder end of the models, at least by my mind.
Yeah, I think when you and I did commentary last time, we were still in the round of 32. And so the difficulty gets progressively stronger. You know, we want people to have to maybe think a little bit. We want to have more opportunity for mistakes. A little bit more challenging as we go through here, and your observation is correct. These models are definitely more difficult now that we are in the Elite 8.
Yeah. Looks like, you know, again, interesting choice of the older versions, Toby. I really want to explore that, but I don't think it would matter much here, although I'd be interested in feedback from the audience about it.
I think it's also interesting, both the runners made, again, almost the exact same sketch, including the mirror. Like, look at that sketch. That's not a sketch that I would have made, you know, not in a million years, but they both made the exact same sketch.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Pretty darn interesting, actually, to see that. Yep. So, you know, I have some thoughts about something. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to be in the category of giving hints or anything, but I do have some thoughts here as we're developing.
So we can see here that the runners both have come up with kind of the initial shape here. This shape from the front, that kind of circular shape up top, the vertical line going down, and then they both had to come in from the side to clean up that shape from the side, because you know, it's not just one uniform thickness all the way through. It gets a little bit wider down at the bottom of this transport hanger. And so now we see that the runners are moving on to their next set of features. Now, AaronC on the left looks like he's creating that port that's up top. That might be some kind of in a transport hanger, what that really is it's a threaded hole that usually you have an eye hook that goes onto. And then there's the lower hole also that maybe goes down to act as like a friction reducer or increaser for the wheel itself. We see Aaron creating that upper shape now on the left.
Yep.
And we see Pranav has decided to focus more on the rib shape, or the shape that's kind of coming down from the top.
Yeah, you know, I can respect either way. I mean, I don't know if I should comment on which way I would, you know, I like better.
I think that at this point you're pretty safe to comment. I don't think they're going to be backtracking based on what you say.
I kind of like bigger features, you know, because getting the larger elements done. But hey, you know, either way, okay, there goes Pranav. Okay, a little different approach there on that. Finally, a little bit of not only in order, but.
And we got Sahil in the chat saying, "Pranav, let's go!" Nice. We love seeing the cheering for the different runners.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Yeah, this is not an easy part.
Yeah, this is not an easy part. Yeah, this one, and lots of, you know, not only is it not easy, there's lots of, you know, in getting the shape, but there's lots of, I'd say it takes a little more work working through the dimensioning scheme.
Exactly.
You know, not that it's a bad scheme, it's just it's intricate, and there's lots of places, like you said, lots of places you go wrong. Let's see what we got here. Wow, a lot to be watching here.
Yeah, we see AaronC on the left now coming through, creating that rib shape.
Yeah, it's starting to look quite, you know, where they're both getting close.
Yeah, merging it right into that boss that was sticking out from the side. that would also, you know, ultimately connect to the wheel, probably act as the hole for the axle for the wheel in a transport hanger.
Yeah, wow, these guys are both going. It's really great to see. Yeah.
We see that Pranav on the right there coming up with that fillet up top, kind of creating that smooth transition between that upper section and that the threaded hole for the eye hook, or what would be, they're not threaded in this model, but it would be a threaded hole for an eye hook.
Yeah, and with a fillet like that, you're not going to fake anything. That's got to be in the right place, and everything's got to be right there to get the right properties.
Yep.
You know? Yeah, it's no easy exploit there to throw that. You know, you move that a little bit, you're going to get a very different result for the fillet.
And Aaron taking an interesting approach here. When Pranav created that boss shape, he kind of included it in the original model, where Aaron now has created that additional geometry here using just a boss extrude. I think we might see a delete face here. Oh yeah, we see the delete face. We love when people use delete
editing
face.
for the win. I mean, I'm a big direct edit. We call it direct editing.
Yep.
I don't know if that's what. I'm a big direct editing fan. You know, like parametrics are great. I love parametrics, but direct editing can be so useful, especially with a great selection tool.
AaronC coming in, looks like he's looking for an answer. Coming in,
did he submit it? He submitted it.
AaronC coming in 3156. That is not correct. That is not correct.
All right.
So it's a plus or minus 3 gram tolerance. That is not correct. 3. And we see Pranav coming in with an answer 3155. That is not correct. That is not correct.
Wow.
So both of our runners need to do a little bit of model examination.
A lot of intricate stuff here. Easy to make a small mistake. Let's see what we got.
Indeed, indeed. Both of our runners here have come up with an incorrect answer. Both of our runners now are on their final opportunity.
Okay, so this is it. I mean, once the second number goes in, Pranav's in with the second number.
Pranav comes in with the answer 3131, and that is correct.
Oh,
and that is correct.
Wow,
so,
Pranav.
Wow, Pranav. Congratulations. Super speedy. GG to Pranav. That was not an easy part. And wow. Very, very impressive. My goodness, that was neck and neck the whole time. AaronC, I think that hole coming down from the top is a different diameter than the hole that goes in the lower section through that curvy face in the lower section. I think.
You really, I mean, Toby, you know, this is a really tough model you put together. And stuff like that, come on.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, that's, you know, we're in the Elite 8. You know, you got to earn your way through. And Pranav did it.
You're saying, I see now. Yeah, you got 15 in the top hole, 20 in the bottom hole.
There we go.
And that very bottom hole is also 20.
Big B from AZ says, sneaky Toby. Hey, man, listen, man, this is just how the
parts work. Was that the issue? Was that AaronC's issue?
I believe it was, yeah. I believe it was.
Aaron, great job, man. Really, clearly you got a couple of great modelers here.
Yeah.
Toby, just watching them work. I mean, you guys both are booking and you're doing, you know, it's good modeling.
Yes.
You know, it's good modeling. It's just.
Wow. Nice job. GG to AaronC. If you guys want to put a GG in the chat, that was awesome. GBCX Prime says, dusted off, Aaron. No issues. Yep, that's great advice.
No issues.
Well. Wow.
I have a feeling Aaron's going to be back.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen the last Aaron in the
No. Well, he's still he's just going to dust it off. He's going to come back now and try and sweep it for 2 points. So
right. Of course we do.
Let's see what the Wheel of Fate has in store for our runners this next go around. If you guys are in the chat and are feeling lucky, you can let us know what number you think it's going to be. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring here. I'm going to say 64. I got a feeling it's going to be 64 here. Looks like Imants, Nico Concarne, and Gary all are feeling 64 as well. Wow, I said that before I even noticed they all wrote that. So 64 has got some.
I'm feeling 72.
Cool. Okay. All right. 72. Rolling in my 64. Yep. Big B from AZ. Mantis is saying 70. Robert G is here, says 71. Larry Watson. Christian Blanc in the chat today. What's up, Chris? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Michael LaFleche is here.
Oh, the professor.
Yeah, the professor
Michael LaFleche.
Wow, welcome. Tayfun is here. He ran a Libre in the inaugural match of this entire tournament back on July 15th. So welcome. Amir is here, says 72. Okay, let's see what
got Will.
We got
We
Will
got Reed
here.
Grubbs here.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Hey Reed.
Reed
Hey Will.
in the chat. What's up? Welcome, welcome. All right, guys, let's rip this thing. Here we go. The Revopoint Wheel of Fate says that the next drawing is going to be
72.
Oh.
Come on, 72.
Man.
Come on, 72.
How do we know? How do
Yo,
we
72.
know?
Oh, man.
Wow. How do we know? I don't know. I don't know how we know. But
You know.
Yeah, we know. We just know. Wow. Nico
Amazing.
Concarne, 2 for 2 so far. Nico Concarne's got to go to casino tonight. This is your night.
You got to go to the casino.
Yeah.
This is your night.
This is your night. All right, guys. Well, let's learn a little bit more about our runners as we get that next match ready to go. We already learned about Aaron. He loves rock climbing, but is terrified of heights. He also loves backpacking, but is terrified of bears. Okay, good. And also loves engineering, but there is no but. Engineering is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
That's interesting. Loves backpacking, terrified of bears, love rock climbing, but terrified of heights.
Yeah.
Like loves CAD, but terrified of 3D connection devices or something. I don't know.
And
by the way, I got to say, I love those 3D connection devices, Toby.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
know if your runners do, but if or when I should say, I try to enter the minor leagues of this, I would use a 3D connection. I love those things.
Then they got a lot of different offerings too. Like if the Space Navigator isn't your cup of tea, they have a special mouse with 4 buttons. You know, if you can't do enough with 2 buttons or 3 buttons, why not have 4 buttons?
You can't.
You know?
Oh yeah, all the buttons on the side and everything.
Yep.
I just think they're great. And by the way, how come they're not sponsoring? Come on.
So we have worked with them before for sponsorship.
Yeah.
They did a sponsorship of the leaderboard actually back I think in May. And so So it was I think it was Rock Bottom who was one of our regular users who ended up winning the leaderboard challenge. And did get a 3D Connection Space Navigator Pro package. Yeah. So, the
other thing
they know. They know.
Looks count too, Toby. And I always say to our guys, at Onshape who do demos, and I hope Michael Flesch is listening here to pass along to his team. I just think CAD looks better to viewers. Like if you're doing a demonstration or showing off your work, it just looks better when you're driving with a 3D connection device. Your view transitions are smoother. I mean, the style points matter too, right?
Yeah, completely. Yeah. And it's also great for just like if you're making videos, if you need to make a quick video, I know that in my career, there's been plenty of times where I need to make a quick video, but if I want the transition to be smooth in SolidWorks, I have to do an animation or come up with some other workaround.
Yeah, right.
If you have a Space Navigator, you can just kind of smoothly move it over. So yeah, I completely agree there.
By the way, I have no connection to 3D Connection. I'm not affiliated with them.
All good. Hey man,
I just comment on the product.
They know what we're about, We're just a couple guys talking shop. A couple guys who've been around for a little while talking shop, It's
talking shop, talking gear.
That's all we're doing. All right, guys, and Pranav loves rendering as a pastime, and no buts there, just loves rendering, and plays tabla.
Oh,
and he plays tabla, which is a traditional Indian drum, and likes painting. Very nice. Very nice.
Hey, I'm excited. Our rendering product at Onshape Render Studio is awesome. We got some great things coming, but I'm also pretty excited about the potential for AI in rendering.
Yeah.
Too. And what
would that accomplish, the AI in rendering?
Make it easier. Like, I don't think we're all that far from being able to look at a CAD model as you're modeling it and say, type like you would in a prompt for render and say, hey, make it look like it's in an office on a wooden desk with green lighting and give me a color scheme that.
Wow.
Yeah,
that would be great.
In fact, now I'm not making any product announcements here or anything, but maybe I'll do an AI render during this live tournament and pop it up.
Whoa!
Just to show you that I'm not I'm not just blowing smoke here.
All right, we'll see if we can make it happen.
Maybe that's a maybe.
Okay,
it's a maybe.
All
this is but
Okay. All right, cool. Well, you guys heard it here first. John's making official software development announcements and officially committing to and announcing his partnership with 3D Connection. You heard it here first, right?
I'm just super excited about what AI can bring to this world, and not hypey stuff, but useful stuff. But we'll see what gets there.
Awesome. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get into it. This next CAD battle, we got Model number 64 coming up on deck here. Can't wait to see this one. Here we go. Let's flip over to full screen. And this next CAD battle between SolidWorks and SolidWorks, AaronC versus Pranav, begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? The tolerance is plus or minus 2 grams. This part is a lock handle. A lock handle is, you might find this on a roller coaster or a carnival ride. A lock handle. Here we go. Big B from AZ says a doozy. Both of our runners are in CAD, getting into it.
What a model.
Here we go. Let's flip over.
I want to see Michael Flesch doing it unofficially on the side, Professor, and see how you compare here in the pro division.
Oh man.
Another torture test, Toby. Come on.
There's quite a bit going on with this one.
You are not.
You want to make it to the Final Four? You want to get to those big prizes?
Jeez.
You got to earn your way in there.
You got to earn your way in. And I got to say, I'm glad that I'm not trying to compete in this.
So we see that the upper section of this part, the to the left on the overlay is it's like an arc line type scenario, tapered. But then we see that the main body is a conical shape, and then we see we've got this handle down at the bottom. A lot of times when you're doing 3D CAD, this is what you do. You kind of imagine how you would build or unbuild the model, and then you jump into CAD and you start trying to put your game plan to work. So it's interesting. We've got AaronC kind of taking a little bit more of a front view, almost a layout approach, trying to get all the key dimensions down. Pranav seems to be focusing more on that line arc scenario.
So here you have one of the classic decisions also, which is how much detail do you put in a sketch?
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And I find people somewhat divided. Again, I'm strictly an amateur when it comes to modeling. I might be considered a pro when it comes to developing software for modeling, but actually using it. By the way, you want to comment on that? Or I don't want to take away from the tournament, but I can give you a comment on that.
Let's hear it. I'm ready.
Which is, as much as I like modeling, I like building things, I'm trained as a mechanical engineer. One of the beliefs we have at Onshape and we had at SolidWorks, one of my beliefs is I'm not the target user. The pros in the audience, you're the target user. Right. It's not even the students. It's not people. Honestly, Toby, with all respect to you, it's not you. It's not me. Yeah, I like modeling. I can make models. I have parts I've made and so forth. I'm not a day-to-day pro.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not what I do. And so I think we as CAD developers have to build a product for the pro user, not for ourselves thinking we're the pro user.
Yeah. Yep.
And that introduces differences in how you approach things. So I thought I'd make that. I see products out there. Sometimes I think, oh, this was built for like the people who wrote the code, who like to make things in their shop. Well, that's fine, but that's not what people get paid for. And
right. You got to keep in mind. Yeah. There's a lot
just
of moving
just
parts.
A little sidebar there.
Yep.
But here you see a classic, here you've got two schools of thought on the complexity of sketch.
Yeah. AaronC on the left doing more of like the more complicated sketch with like
put a lot in
it. Yeah. We're going to see if that's going to pay off as he starts creating features. Yeah. Pranav on the right doing more the approach that I would personally do, which is keep your sketches simple, just kind of feature by feature, go through it. And, it looks like Pranav is pretty far ahead as far as number of features in the tree. But before you know it.
But the thing about the more complex sketch approach, Toby, you and I both know it, is you look like you're behind, then you slingshot ahead as things fall into place.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
It's like people who do Sudoku puzzles where some people don't put notes in and the numbers appear. Others put a lot of little notes in and it looks like they're getting nowhere, and then boom. As soon as they crack one, all the things fall like dominoes. So it's going to be interesting to see, but that's the nature of the complex sketch versus simple sketches approach, in my opinion. I also more of a simple sketch guy, but you got to have respect for the pros here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's like you said, by the way, it's all about them.
Yeah. I don't remember if they're both pros here. Aaron, if I recall, they both use modeling for a living, but one of I know last year's winner was a student. So,
right, yeah.
The students can model fast, and students build very real things. Like I know Alnus is building amazing robotics in college with his underwater robotics team, I believe it is, and you can build great things as a student, and that's great. I'm not saying anything bad against students or amateurs. I'm just saying when we as a CAD developer build systems for CAD, and particularly for PDM, collaboration, we have to build with the pro in mind.
Yeah,
it's critical.
I think I completely agree with you. I mean, that's definitely something that you never want to forget. It's like what you said. It's ultimately, you know, where's the key user, the key customer, the key, you know, ultimate user going to get the most benefit from it. And it's very interesting.
Like if you're building a Formula One race car, okay, and we have customers who do, by the way, you're building that to be driven by a pro driver, not to be driven by you. You know, you, the engineer working on it. Some of them are great drivers, by the way. You know, these guys who work on cars, not surprising. They're not pro drivers.
I just want to give a quick throwback. Just sorry to interrupt you, but I just saw Pranav do something really interesting with that fillet. If you guys end up going back and watching that, the way he did that handle, he really like jumped a gap with that fillet and got the fillet into that large fillet that's on the handle section.
So what kind of fillet did he use, Toby?
It was a standard edge fillet, but with an edge, there was an edge overflow, and he was able to take advantage of the edge overflow to get that fillet to end up ultimately in the perfect spot.
So that's knowing your filleting behavior.
Yeah, really impressive.
Crucial.
And
you know, there's so much of
AaronC on the left is almost finished with this model as well. Pranav on the right is almost finished with this model. These guys are neck and neck. Look at how close
I don't know if
I'd
call them almost finished, Toby. In my opinion, there's still a lot. There's a lot of meat left on this modeling bone here.
I guess we got the.
Come on, Toby.
There's that one final thing. I actually.
Right. One final thing. There's plenty to do here, Toby.
They're kind of neck and neck here. I forgot about that one.
Neck and neck.
Yeah.
You forgot about part of your own model.
I forgot
part
of my model. I was gonna say, you saw it there. You're keeping me in line. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I've got my screenshot up.
Yeah,
Toby, I am screenshotting.
Now, when you see models like this, are you thinking to yourself, like, how would I build this? What features would I do?
I am, but I can't. I even have a CAD window open.
Oh, wow.
Onshape window up. You know, I was fooling around with some things, but I can't do that and pay attention and commentate at the same time. And so
it's too much.
You know, I want to provide
well,
see, I'm watching.
It's very interesting. Yeah, Pranav
watching.
Yep, using that geometry from the other section to create this. I think what's going to ultimately be a revolve here. And AaronC is now. Yeah, and AaronC has now moved on to the creation of those. Looks like they're like little tabs that stick out. They probably
tabs.
go
I was going to say
the locking pin of this thing. If this is a lock handle. Tapered looks like as well. If we look at AaronC's screen, it looks like those tabs are following the taper of that conical shape. So this model is a doozy,
as they must. You know, I mean, you know, again, mass properties don't lie. And when you're dealing with round parts, I think it's just so much easier to make error when you're dealing with a conical face. You know?
Yes.
But that's why you do it. I'm sure. I'm watching carefully here to see what I'm. Yeah. Okay.
Sahil is cheering on Pranav, saying, "Go on, Pranav, fast, fast, fast." Very nice.
Okay.
We see AaronC.
Interesting use of feature there. Pranav just did. I don't know if you want me saying too much here.
Looks like he's using a slot tool.
Yeah, the slot tool. That's pretty clever there because he knows he's only going to need one side of it. You know, but he's saying, "Hey, I know I can drop that in and trim it."
Some contour selection, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, and it looks like AaronC is.
You've got a number coming. You got a number there. You got a number in.
Answers 2319. That is not correct. That is not correct.
AaronC. Okay.
Not correct. 2319. The tolerance is plus or minus 2 grams. 2319. That is not correct. So AaronC now looking over his model, trying to determine what went wrong, you know, where things went a little bit awkward.
It's also interesting to see Pranav's choice of rendering, graphics mode here. You know, hidden line removed.
Yeah.
Now he's back to shading, but you know that's a good technique for seeing what's going on too, because sometimes, of course, you're going to see things in the wireframe that you won't see in shading. By the way, historical note, I was part of the industry, Toby, when shading was an option, when color was an option, or when shading was only done the way we do rendering in a batch mode.
Right.
You know? Or wait, some products do rendering batch mode. We do rendering more in a interactive mode in Onshape. But the point is that it used to be slow and no one ever imagined you'd have, you know, rendering full time. You know, it's like, But yeah,
it's really interesting.
Oh, wait, what
Pranav is
happened?
really struggling with that tab section.
Yeah.
And AaronC is kind of doing the final model check, going through the model, trying to figure out, you know, I must have something wrong. I must, you know, have a dimension wrong or a feature or something.
I'm trying to figure out AaronC's.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I see something.
AaronC's going through, trying to figure out what's going on with his Pranav, but Pranav at the same time is kind of leaving the door open, struggling with those
progress.
tabs.
This is the thing here. Yep. I'm just checking here with AaronC, going through it.
We got lots of love coming in here through the chat. Enjoying this, guys. This is a pretty tight match here.
Toby, I know I'm supposed to be commentating, but again, absorbed checking the model here.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like we got another number coming. Here we go.
Possibly another number coming in from AaronC.
I think he's being careful because he knows the match is on the line here.
This is sudden death.
Right?
Yeah, this is
the match.
If it's wrong, it's likely. Okay, Pranav has come in with an answer. Pranav's answer is 3130. That is not correct. 3130 from Pranav. That is not correct.
Whoa. Toby, I have some comments.
Sorry, 3131. I'm just going to correct 3130. Wait, am I looking at the... Hold on a second here.
You're looking at it right.
Okay, I'm looking at it correct. Okay. All right, and then AaronC coming in with an answer 2359 or 2360. That is not correct. AaronC, I'm sorry. That is not correct. AaronC came in with his second answer. That is 2 answers. You only get 2 answers, unfortunately, AaronC. So that is not correct. 2360 or 23. Yeah, either way. It's not correct. Not correct within tolerance. So we're going to bring up the clock here for Pranav. I'm just trying to double check. I'm hesitating because I want to make sure that I get this right. But we are going to bring up the clock here for Pranav. We're going to give Pranav 5 minutes now to get the correct answer. He's got 5 minutes here. We can all see the clock here in the countdown. I'm looking at AaronC's answer. Jason Cannon in the chat says, wow, this is dramatic. I completely agree. Wow. And AaronC, I'm just double checking, making sure. Yep. So AaronC answered, his first answer was 2319. His second answer here was 2359. That was not correct. Pranav's first answer was 3130.9, and that was not correct. We're going to cheer on Pranav here. We're going to give Pranav a chance to look over his model. And AaronC is trying to figure out what's going on with his model as well. People are cheering on Pranav.
I have some guesses.
Big B from AZ says, my bookie is going to have my knees. So I think he's hoping that Pranav can't get the right answer, I guess. He's hoping this thing gets pushed to another round. All right. Good luck to Pranav. Everybody in the chat is giving good luck to Pranav. We got a lot of llamas in the chat. My brother. A lot of llamas in the chat. Okay. Pranav coming in with an answer. I'm just doing this rounding here. 2348.23 grams. John, that is not correct. Not
my goodness.
Correct, guys. That is not correct. Did anybody in the chat get it correct, or AaronC, did you end up getting it correct? I'm just curious if anybody does come up with the right answer. Feel free to type it in the chat if you think you got the right answer. But guys, we're going to do a round of applause here because we get a push. We get to see another match between these guys. That's what I like. Let me know in the chat, guys, if anybody got it correct, if anybody was modeling it. AaronC modeled 2351. That is correct. It's plus or minus 2 grams. So Pranav was literally 1 gram outside of spec. But 1 gram outside of spec is a failure, unfortunately. No offense.
Wow.
Just from an inspection point of view. I'm just saying from inspection, not saying you're a failure.
Well, I got to say, I was really struck, Toby, at the first guesses being so far apart. I didn't want to say anything back there.
I think, honestly, I think that Pranav guess was a misclick from Control-C, Control-V. I think he still had the previous answer because the previous answer...
The old model. I was wondering about that because I'm like, that sounds like the last model.
That sounds like the last model,
right,
yep.
So where are the problems here? Aaron got it right.
Jason C says, damn, too tall, harsh. Yes, indeed. That's how we do it, baby. That's engineering. Engineering is harsh. Aaron C did end up answering it correctly, 2351. He was able to get it. I think his problem was that the circular, that final circular port that's sticking out the front, the smaller one. Yeah. I think he had that diameter incorrect. So he was able to resolve it, but not until after he burned off both of his answers. Guys, we're going to a third match between these guys, and that is a push. And congratulations to everyone in the chat, because we get to see an extra battle today. That's what I like. So, John, any advice for these guys going into the third round, seeing what you've seen so far about these guys? Oh, wait, hold on a second. Before you give the advice, let's turn to the Wheel of Fate and find out what the Wheel of Fate has in store for these guys. I'm going to move this along a little bit faster now, just to respect everybody's time. Here we go. No guesses this time for the push.
Yeah, let's get rolling here.
Yep. Right. Looks like it's going to be 71.
71.
Okay, just making a quick note here. All right. Thank you to the Wheel of Fate, sponsored by our friends at Revopoint. And John, any advice for these guys going into this next match?
You know, I don't know really. I mean, these are tough models. I think the only thing I would say is think about reliability of the result. Obviously, you know, you're thinking about speed and there's accuracy, but then some techniques I know in my own mind, you just feel a little more certain that you're going to get the intent right, especially in these complicated, you know, you've got a lot to process here in on these dimension schemes. So I don't know, you know, I wish I could tell you, I'm not a former champion modeler. So
it was such a good match. They were so neck and neck the whole time. They were, you know, feature after feature. It was like they were both coming to the same point. But ultimately, they were outside of spec, and so that's going to give us a push to this next round. So let's get into it. This next CAD battle begins. This next CAD battle, SolidWorks versus SolidWorks, AaronC versus Pranav, begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? Looks like we're looking at a part here in 1060 alloy. We see that this part has the same geometry, three places, 120 degrees equal spacing. Not exactly an ANSI or ISO standard drawing.
All right, Toby, I'm going to make the call. This part is, you're giving him a little bit of a breather here because this part is tough, but this is not like those other ones.
We'll see. We'll see. It might have a couple of gotchas here and there. Yep.
Uh-oh, you're going to surprise me. Huh?
Here we go. Molly Christensen, that maybe is Aaron's mom, says, Dad says breathe. A little advice to Aaron from his parents, reminding him to breathe. Gonzalo.
Toby, you got that revolved section kind of deal going here.
Yes, indeed. Huh? Yep. So both of our runners look to be approaching this thing the same way or a very similar way, looking at that kind of section view, realizing that one face is conical and looking at the dimensions and saying, you know what, I think this makes sense to do it as a revolve. So they're both kind of starting out here doing this as a revolve. Balraj in the chat says, guys, be careful. Ex Machina in the chat says, I see traps. So, okay. So
I definitely see a trap here. And, but, you know.
And looks like Aaron's sister. Aaron's sister. Okay. Mark St. Martin in the chat correcting me. Molly is Aaron's sister. Aaron's got the whole crew in here cheering him on. That's
Aaron's
awesome.
Mother. Have you ever had contestants have their parents tune in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, get the whole family in here. It's a really fun event. This is like, you know, engineering often seems so abstract to people who aren't in it, and this gives gives the outside world a chance to see what we do. This is what it's like every day in engineering.
Well, not exactly, but you know.
AaronC already
okay, we got the first solid,
feature, solid feature.
By the way, I wonder if, you know, in sports sometimes they correlate, they say, well, the team who scores first wins blankety blank % of the time. Be interesting to go back in your matches. Do you have a statistician at Too Tall Toby Incorporated?
Not yet.
Well, because you could have a statistician go back and say, of all the matches you brought, in fact, you could talk to Allison at University of Toronto about this. You could say, what's the winning percentage of the first person who just gets a solid object visible?
Yep.
Is there a correlation?
That would be a cool stat to look up.
You know what I mean? Things like that. It's like the equivalent of scoring first in baseball or something like that, or football, or, you know.
And we do have a confirmation here in the chat, John, for you. Mendy Beige in the chat is saying, I'm Aaron's mom. Go Team Aaron.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Very good.
His
Go
mom
Team
is here
Aaron.
in the chat.
All right. All right. Great.
So AaronC, interesting approach here, looking in from the end, and Pranav also kind of
yeah,
an
I'm
interesting
trying to
approach here for
see
this
how
feature.
they're thinking here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is gonna be so what AaronC is doing is he's looking here at the
Okay.
if we look at the print, I'm just gonna bring it up just for a second. You can go back in the video and watch it, but on the print here, there's a section view, this section CC, and in that section CC, he's trying to grab that information and use that to create this kind of the try boss that's sticking out. That
And
boss
you are really you are really a tricky guy here.
Now you see it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd rather model this object than the other one. That's my view, but you know, say.
Rich Penn says hidden Toby feature in this one. Yes, indeed, Rich.
What's that? There's a what?
Rich Penn said there's a hidden Toby feature in this one. Yep.
Hidden Toby feature.
Yep. We like to include those types of things. So we see AaronC here. It looks like he's got the basic work for that that feature looking in from the end, but maybe getting a little held up here, maybe rolling. So he did what's called a rollback there, where he went back in time in the tree, and now he's deciding to construct a different feature. Maybe he will end up using that feature somewhere else. AaronC does a lot of kind of layout work with these types of models.
This is where, by the way, you know, we put a couple features in an Onshape design to help people think about parametric history, like the preview slider and the final button. Onshape users will really know that. Those things really help you visualize features before you hit OK and they're done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And I don't know if you I can't remember. I've watched some of your Onshape videos, Toby. Awesome stuff. Can't remember if you talked preview slider and final, but I think
I mainly
use
the preview for like the mates. When you're doing mates, I like to use the preview to see what the mate range of motion is going to be.
Yeah.
For the
well,
mate
preview
connectors.
slider is pretty awesome.
As
is final button. Final button, I would imagine, would be really useful in this type of thing. I don't know if the pros like Allness and Imants use it, but see.
Maybe we'll see that in the next match.
Touching along here.
All right, so both of our runners kind of trying to tackle the geometry that they at least can see, kind of laying out. Looks like Pranav is laying out the work here for this boss shape that's sticking out. Looks like AaronC is he says at least I'm going to put in that slot. You know, I know where the slot is. I know what the dimensions are for the slot, but there is maybe a little bit of struggle here happening from both the runners, trying to figure out how to handle the creation of some of these features. Yeah, Pranav taking a really interesting approach.
Toby, you are doing your job creating interesting problems.
Thank you.
Yeah, that job is...
Yeah, the best challenges are the ones when you look at them, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Kind of the reaction we got from it, you know, both from yourself and from the chat. And then there's like a follow-up message like, oh, wait a second. I see it.
Wait a second. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. But, you know, personally, I like both their approaches.
Agree.
Yeah.
Always interesting to see two professionals, how they approach the same challenge from different techniques, and especially when they're using the same CAD system. Also very interesting. In this case, even the same build, the 2020 build.
Yeah. A lot of talk about AI these days in the CAD community, but again, when you look at people are like, well, can't I just use ChatGPT to create a model? Well, AI isn't so good at precise things right now. You could use AI to generate an image of a model, show me a picture of something, but we don't get paid to produce images typically. Some of us do for rendering, there's pro renderers out there. But mostly you got to produce a part that works, and the details really matter, and they're subtle, and then, what's going on there? A little funky.
Yeah, AaronC, exactly. Yeah, AaronC using a little.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, doing some. He did an extrusion from an offset location, and then did it up to surface and up to surface. So very interesting. Now, how's he gonna
good deal?
Kind of plug this geometry here? This is gonna be. See how he handles this. So once again, AaronC very comfortable using the offset option for his, so he can kind of just sketch wherever he wants, and then he can, when he goes to create the final geometry, just do an offset.
Yeah, well, you should. I mean, we had an offset to Onshape extrude too, you know, to start. I'm wondering when you'll see a runner. I don't know if Allness or Imants has custom Onshape modeling features, but you're going to probably start to see that someday.
So there is a rule in the Too Tall Toby rule book for the tournaments that limits how much of that you can get away with. It's a loose rule right now. It's going to have to be locked down eventually, but it's basically if the feature exists in any CAD system anywhere, it's pretty much fair game. So as long as it exists somewhere, like if somebody wrote a custom script for Onshape to make a feature that doesn't exist in the vanilla flavor, that's okay. You can still use that. So that's kind of the loose rule. So look at AaronC was able to come through and get that geometry configured. Now it looks like he's doing what's called a circular pattern. He did a circular pattern of that spokey shape. Now he's done a circular pattern of the sidewalls. It looks like he is
clearly
in a good spot here. Probably doing some. He wants to do some final checks. I'm sure he's a little gun shy after that last match. We're gonna see what he comes up with here. And he says missing dim on C-C. I don't think so. I think keep looking at that drawing, AaronC. But I do audit these, and this one in particular, I'm pretty confident. So
you got all the drawing. You got all the. I'm looking at myself here. Section CC.
And now we see Pranav getting in here. Pranav is looks like he's getting ready to do a circular pattern of this as well. And looks like AaronC is gonna maybe start feeling the burn a little bit here. We're gonna see what he can do to
some measure queries,
figure out what's going on. Yep. And Pranav is gonna be, let's see, looks like he did a circular pattern of a body. When you do a circular pattern of a body, it doesn't automatically merge the body. So he did a merge combine. Looks like he's got some experience with that. Now he's doing one of these Tom Smith sketches where he just kind of sketches what he needs. Definitely wouldn't pass the muster in a CAD audit.
Yeah,
but
it's like, oh yeah, as long as I get, I'll climb it in there. But you got to be careful. Sometimes those will intersect things you don't anticipate. Right.
Exactly. Okay, so Pranav.
That's the way I make a lot of models, is just kind of glom things together sometimes.
Kind of just blast through. So both of our runners trying to figure this out. Big B from AZ says, LOL, gross. Yes, indeed. All right, and it looks like we're going to see.
Oh, looks like game number.
Potentially an answer coming. AaronC comes in with the answer, 411 grams, and that is not correct. Not correct within tolerance. Not correct. So AaronC is going to have to look through his model and try to figure out what it is that he's missing on that. But 411 grams is not correct. Pranav coming in with an answer, 436. That is not correct. Not correct.
Wow. Okay, you know one of these guys.
We got Pranav, we got AaronC. Both of them looking at Aaron's.
I would have things to say here. I have things to say, but I'm not going to say them because they'd be hints. But
yep. So Pranav, Pranav is saying missing a dimension in CC. That is nope. It is not missing. It is. You can calculate that dimension. You got to look at the drawing. I'll give you guys a hint. That is the gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I see some things, but I shouldn't be saying anything. Yeah. You know.
So both Pranav and AaronC are struggling to figure out what the width is in that CC section view. And they are both going to need to figure this out. Let's remember in the chat that we're going to let them figure it out. So please don't answer.
I am not saying a word, Toby. Lips are sealed here, but
Ex Machina Engineering.
Not saying a word.
Ex Machina Engineering saying, "Oh man, I'm going to have a heart attack just spectating." Yeah, both of these runners are trying to figure out what is it? How do I figure? What's that width supposed to be? So we're going to let them try to figure that out. They've both burned off one guess.
You got some brutal stuff here, Toby.
This is the Elite 8 of the World Championship of 3D CAD speed modeling. So we don't give anybody any free points. We don't let anybody come in with anything.
But, I think it's all fair and
that's the beauty of the one versus one format. Look at Pranav. He's seeing it. He's like, oh, okay. And look at this workaround. What a clever workaround from Pranav.
What did he do? I'm trying. I lost. I was looking at the
He was
print.
looking down on the top and did he did something. I don't
Okay.
know.
All right. No comment.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was watching Pranav there. Again, I don't want. I have some comments on both models, but I'm gonna hold it here. Oh, here we go. This Pranav. This is it for the mat. Okay.
Okay. Pranav comes in with an answer 458 grams. That is not correct.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, Toby, what a slugfest here.
What a slugfest indeed. This is
a rock fight.
This is for a 3D scanner. Okay, so this is, we understand why these guys are slugging it out so much. This is for the person who wins. This is going to get to the final four, get a 3D scanner. We're going to put the 5-minute clock on AaronC. We're going to see if AaronC can get through and figure out what's going on with his model. Yeah. If he can get through, if he can figure this out, then AaronC is going to stay alive in this thing. I guess either way, he's going to be staying alive in this thing. Either way, we're going to see another match between these guys. So this is what I like to see. But
Toby, this
wow.
Today is, this is going into, pace of play. I mean, there's a lot of action, but boy, we're asking a lot for these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got some errors in the.
So AaronC has 4 minutes and 20 seconds, or 42 times 10, to. Oh no, actually that's not right. I don't know my calculations, 2 minutes and seconds. Aaron's got 4 minutes and 15 seconds to figure out what's going on with this model. He's got to go through. He's got to try and figure it out. Pranav is going to try to go through and figure it out as well. He's going to try to figure out what exactly happened, where his missing dimension is, what's going on with his model, what possibly went wrong. AaronC is trying to do the same thing. He's trying to go through. He's trying to figure out what went wrong. What was I missing? Why wasn't I coming up with the correct answer? Pranav thinks he's maybe got it now, but he's not going to answer. He thinks that he's got it. We'll see if, of course, we have a lot of pros in the chat as well who are always helping me to kind of stay in line, make sure that I'm not, answering incorrectly or anything like that. But we're going to see what happens here with this matchup. 3 minutes and 25 seconds left for AaronC. Of course, you don't want to wait till the very, very last second because you could be experiencing a YouTube delay or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd say if you answer within the final, 20 seconds-ish is where I'd probably feel safe doing it. But we're going to see what happens here. AaronC, all eyes are on AaronC as he scrambles to get this answer, to stay alive, to potentially win a scanner, or at least earn a point towards winning a 3D scanner. Very interesting dimensioning on this model at this point. I like the way he was able to quickly do. Wow, yeah, over 100 people, 128 people watching right now. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You tuned in for a good one.
Yeah, I think so.
This is a absolute slugfest. Look at that extrude going up to the wrong side of that cylinder. That's not fun. Man, this is, I'm sure this is not a good feeling here from AaronC, trying to figure out what do I need to do to get this thing to cut in the next 1 minute and 45 seconds. Man, he's just gonna
figure it out.
He's just gonna figure it out.
Just stay relaxed, stay on target. Like a little Star Wars line, another one, stay on target.
Yeah. Wow, man, I can't believe this final feature here is fighting him so hard. That's brutal. Oh, man, 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Oh, my goodness.
That is so brutal that he's just getting down to this one little notch here and that it's none of the stuff he's trying to do is going to work.
Boy,
oh, boy. We have all been there, AaronC. Take a deep breath. 1 minute left. No pressure, but just 1 minute left.
You got it, Aaron. Stay calm. Stay on target.
Yep. Don't forget, guys, this is a good opportunity. If you enjoy these types of matches, hit that like button. We got 132 people watching. We got 61 likes. Let's see what we can do to get that like to
you got my like
view ratio to match up. Thank you very much. AaronC looks like he cleaned up that feature. Looks like he's going to try and do a pattern now. Yikes.
Oh.
Yikes.
Oh, boy.
16 seconds. The wheel of fate is cruel. The clock is cruel.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. Looks like he's gonna, let's see what he's gonna do. And that is time. I'm sorry, AaronC, but that is time. Good try. That was a real battle. Oh, man. If anybody in the chat got it, put it into the chat. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Pranav answering 449. That is also not correct. I don't know if anybody who was watching was trying to model that one. But Brutal Aaron, shake it off. That last feature just totally, you figured out what that width was, but the last feature got you. And I'm going to see if anybody in the chat answers it correctly. But these are some tough models now that we are working with.
Imants is
432. Nope, not 432 either. Nope. Okay, so nobody seems to have gotten that one.
All right, Pranav and Aaron, shake it off.
Sahil coming in 432.
Exhale.
Nope.
Drink some water.
Correct answer, 416 grams. 416 grams. I typed it in the chat there for you guys so that you guys can try that. See if you can't come up with the correct answer. If there's any pros in the chat that want to just audit my work and let me know that I got it correct, that I didn't rip anybody off, but I think that is correct. And yes, that was a very tricky part. It does appear that the width of this rib here in section CC is missing, but the width of section CC is determined by looking at the upper left view there.
Yeah,
the top view has that diameter of 122. There's a diameter of 122 there. The triangle is tangent to that bolt circle, the 88 BC. So it's tangent to that bolt circle. It's also the bolt circle, that 88 BC, and that circle, the triangle. You need to make those tangent first, and then you're going to be able to get that width at CC up at the top. So it's really an order of feature creation. The collinear in magenta was the key. That's right. X Machine Engineering seeing it. The collinear was the key. Imants, since you're already modeling it, if you could just confirm that you're getting 416, it will put my heart at ease. And let's get back into it here. Here we go. We're going to do another battle. We're going to just kind of skip right over any kind of ceremony, jump into the wheel. Imants 416. Yep, perfect.
Collinear was key. You wouldn't assume that to be collinear? Huh.
He probably would assume, but I like to, sometimes give these guys just a little hint.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We're going to rip this thing. Ashmit says 66. AMO Alex says 60. Let's see what it's going to end up being. Another push here. Okay.
I'll vote for 66.
Okay. We're going to go with 60.
66.
This is a match of attrition. Yes. All righty. Here we go. This is the opportunity for Pranav to lock this down to move on to the finals. Jon, I don't know. I feel a little fatigued. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a little fatigued. I'm also worried about, in American Major League Baseball, you worry about time of game getting long.
Yeah.
And you've got an issue. We've got an issue here. I don't know what to do. I think you got an audience that's pretty excited about it, but this is, our time of game is getting long here, Toby.
Time of game is getting long, but that's the nature of the contest. You got to earn your points. So we're gonna make sure that these points get earned, and we're gonna do that by making sure that
Energy Drink sponsored for Jon. I'll grab a coffee. No, I'm okay. Actually, I think I should shut up. And we should have all modeling all the time now to get to the.
I don't think it's
sprint. I'll only talk when they're modeling.
I don't think it's okay. All right, it's good. All right, here we go. We're gonna get into this next CAD battle. Yep, here we go. We're gonna get into this next CAD battle. Let's go into this next CAD battle between AaronC and Pranav. Let's switch over to full screen. This CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? The tolerance on this one is plus or minus 5 grams. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? Wow. And Jon, you mentioned time of game, and you also mentioned that you're going to just talk while they are doing the CAD. So I'm gonna flip over, let them do the CAD, and I'm going to take a little bio break as this time of game keeps going on.
Oh, so you're letting me fly solo?
You got it. It's all you. Good luck.
Oh my goodness, that's a big responsibility. All right. Well, it's great to see. Now I got a big responsibility here. First of all, it's great to see so many people out here watching these great competitors go. And I have lost one of my screens here. I see now. So out of the gates, we see people making things. Aaron's first to have a solid shape. Interesting, very different approaches going on here. And I have to say, Toby has made some models here. No one thinks they're too hard, do they? These are pretty hard models. Okay. But a lot of straightforward dimensions to start with here anyway. Again, I'm trying not to give any hints or anything that I could. And also, so nice to see all of you enthusiastic about CAD software. We love building it for people. We love it when you're able to make cool designs with it. Okay. Let's see what Pranav's got going here.
Okay.
And Aaron. Yeah, Toby, I have to admit, I don't have the personality to run the ship here.
Well, I appreciate you. I know I kind of left you hanging there, but you know what they say, nature is one call you can't put on hold.
No, I got it. No, that was fine. And I'm enjoying watching it. I'm trying not to say too much, but I think we're going to see very deliberateness here. I like the way Pranav is exercising his sketches. I don't know if he's been doing that all day long. It's okay for me to say that.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Grab a blue point, drag it around, see how the sketch reacts. Excellent strategy.
Yeah, I like that.
Thinking a model like this, you always want to look and see, like, is there symmetry in the model? You want to kind of use that to your advantage. We see Aaron's been doing a good job of that with mirroring his sketches. We see Pranav looks like he's just going to model half the model and maybe just mirror the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm, maybe. But you got to always be careful here with these two tall Toby models, right?
That last one had a real doozy in it.
Yeah, and this, you never know, right? Something that looks symmetric may not be. I'm not making any comment about this particular model.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I'm pretty good about if I put the CLSYM symbol, then it's going to be symmetric.
Oh yeah, I see. It's going to be symmetric about that. Yeah.
I have been known to make drawings that say have notes that say, like, this model is mostly symmetric, but usually that'll be like an actual note that lets you know that.
Yeah, and I see. I now know I got to pay attention to those Toby notes.
We do have the curved surface along the bottom of this part, and of course that curved surface is going to be functional. This part gets mounted to some type of a curved, tube or a pipe or something. But the curved surface also acts as a deterrent for the Ivan exploit, meaning that the holes that Aaron is putting in now, they can't just be located anywhere.
They can't just be thrown. Yeah, you can't just throw 4 holes in anywhere you want.
Right. Those tabs.
Yeah,
same thing with those tabs. You got to put those tabs in the right spot.
Today seems like a particular day where you've had a lot of features that, small motion will have very big sensitivity. It brings up something we talk about when we're designing modeling features. It's not just getting the shape, but getting a well-behaved shape. Like particularly true with what I'd call surfacing tools, for lack of a better term. We're making things like boundary surfs and curvature continuity and everything. I know in Onshape over the last year and a half, we've not only added tools, but we've kind of made better behaved surfaces, because there's different ways, whether you're modeling like in the competition, there's different ways to get geometry. When we're creating a surface in the CAD system, and you pros know this, you can meet the constraints of the users sometimes with surfaces that are well behaved. If you use your surface quality tools and you do downstream modeling, you understand, are ill behaved. And so we've put recent energy into making better behaved surfaces.
I think that as somebody who's done a lot of surface modeling, that's great to hear, because that's definitely kind of the bane of a professional surface modeler is you get the model to look good, and then the customer says, can you move that just a 0.5 millimeter? You know, a little tiny change, and you say, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
You move it, and the whole thing just like implodes. And it's, you know, it's not because you did anything incorrect as a CAD designer, but it's just because the stability of the feature itself can sometimes be suspect. Yeah, this is great. Great modeling here between the runners on this one. Great song too. This is a song that'll
lot going on.
So really get them zoned in.
Toby, little tech issue here. I'm not seeing AaronC's display on my guest commentator screen.
Maybe change it to one of the other runners and then change it back. See if that'll refresh it. Maybe.
Well, I'm only seeing one of them.
Only seeing one of the screens now.
Yeah. So I can see anyone I want.
See anyone you want on the one window, but not on the other.
Yeah, I lost the second one.
He's still coming. Coming through clear on this one. Maybe. Maybe for the.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe for the time being, you can watch him on the delay on YouTube, or is that other window still there? Or the other window just completely went away?
The other window just went away.
Is the Sidekick monitor still working?
Turned it off.
Turn it off. That might be what happened. Zoom has this weird.
Yeah, I don't need to. We don't need to distract everyone. Let's get back to that. I'll work on it. Just if there's you can chat me or text me.
I think that Zoom does this thing where it actually tries to detect an external display, and if it doesn't detect that, it turns off that.
Okay, it shuts it down. Got it. Okay,
yeah.
I'll get back on it.
Okay,
back on it. Yep.
Yeah. So Pranav is really going through and crushing this model. He's got, almost the whole thing half modeled, where AaronC is also got a great foundation going for this thing. Has got, most of his features ready to go. He kind of modeled the whole thing at once and is doing almost like a hybrid of mirroring features and mirroring the sketches. But if you look at AaronC's model, that looks, that's got to be pretty close to what the the final end result is that he's hoping for, and I guess he had that curved sketch as a layout ahead of time.
I've kind of quieted down here a little because I'm trying to look at the model. By the way, thanks for that tip on the external monitor that fixed it.
Yep, excellent.
So I'm back to my good setup here. Really something watching here. Gosh, I want to say some great things for your audience, Toby, but I'm just so engrossed watching it and checking the print.
Same. Yeah, it's really interesting, and those holes that they're both working on right now are there's a little bit of trickery in those holes as well. You can see that Pranav is coming up with a pretty good strategy to address those, and we see that we may be seeing an answer coming in from Aaron. I see that he's got his mesh properties up.
Maybe.
Gino Mueller in the chat says, "Come on, Aaron, you're right there, bud." It's like maybe Aaron maybe noticed something that he was missing. It's good to check, and Tafon in the chat is saying triple check, Aaron. Always good advice. Imants is having fun with the character map in Windows, it looks like.
Yeah, or maybe he just mistyped.
Yeah.
Oops, leaned on the keyboard. So I'm looking at these models, Toby. I'm scanning to see what do I think. Now, last round I could see some errors. I didn't want to say anything. In the models I could even just see. Of course, easy for me. I don't know if the audience did. So I'm not going to say anything.
Okay, AaronC coming in with an answer 6451. That is not correct. Not correct. 6451. That is not correct. So wow. Wow.
Checking.
6451. That is not correct. So AaronC is going to now be looking at his model, trying to figure out what's going on. Who's it going to be? AaronC has used one of his two answers. Pranav, in the meantime, is kind of looking over his model, trying to make sure that that nothing is missing. GBCX Prime in the chat saying, "What a day! What a day!" Pranav has a chance to close this out. He's just kind of looking over the model, trying to figure out if there's anything that is missing, if there's any dimensions that are missing, anything like that. AaronC has answered 6451, which is not correct. He has one more answer. Really 6452. But
Yeah, see.
we round here at Too Tall Toby in the tournament. Definitely a battle of great gladiators. Yes, indeed. They are too evenly matched. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are doing great work. I mean, hats off to both competitors here. It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot
of modeling time today.
Yeah, we're putting these guys to work today.
I think I might see something here.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of modeling time that we're putting them through, and they're just trying to figure out. You know, this could be for Pranav. This could be closing out the match for Aaron. This could keep him alive. This could be a lifeline, keep him in there. They're both looking over the model. They're both trying to make sure that they didn't overlook any key features.
Yeah.
This is the true CAD Coliseum, Ex Machine Engineering says.
CAD Coliseum.
Yeah.
I went to the real Coliseum last summer.
Whoa.
Place.
Nice.
Yeah, a little trip. Yeah.
And don't forget, if you guys are watching this match and enjoying it, hit that like button. We got 119 people watching right now. We got 70 likes. Let's see what we can do to get that to match up. Always good to hit that like button. Ryan Deck is here. This match should be the one that's on the sphere. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Either one of these guys could end up in the finals. They both have proven themselves throughout the duration of
really hats off to both these guys. Going through these really hard problems, one after the other under time pressure. Really impressive. You know?
Dirt, don't forget, don't forget, guys, Dirt and Ash Smith, we're not gonna give these guys any hints or anything. We're just gonna let them be the stars, let them try to figure out. Pranav coming in with an answer. His answer is 6350 or 6351. That is not correct. Not correct. Not correct. So we got both of our runners here trying to scramble through this model, trying to figure out what it is that they are missing.
Wow.
I
gotta say, I'm looking, again,
okay.
I'm not
AaronC coming in with an answer. AaronC coming in with an answer 6428 or 29. Also not correct. So now it is on Pranav. Pranav is going to be looking at the clock here. It's going to be up to Pranav to seal this one down. We're going to see what happens here with Pranav with this with the 5-minute clock here up on the screen. Let's get this over to Pranav's corner here. Here we go. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left. Pranav now gets to go through. AaronC has answered incorrectly. AaronC has answered 6428.5. Incorrect. Pranav comes in 6350. Incorrect. And AaronC's original answer 6451. Incorrect. So now it's up to Pranav. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left. He's going to be looking over this model. He's going to be looking over the print.
With a fine-tooth comb.
Yep.
As we say.
Yes, indeed.
Let's see. Who's measuring?
Wow. No hurry, calm mind. That's what Sahil says. So he's really looking over the whole thing here.
Yeah.
He's really trying to make sure that all his dimensions are matching up with the dimensions on the 2D print. We're going to bring up the 2D print here. We see that AaronC is looking over his model as well, trying to figure out what is it that he potentially missed.
Yeah, I might see something here. Let's see.
And we're going to see if
I think I see something.
On Pranav's screen or on AaronC's screen?
On AaronC's, but maybe it's hard because the view I want to confirm isn't always the view that's on the screen.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And Pranav here is looking over this whole thing, trying to just make sure, it's always good to take that extra time and just make sure, but don't take too much time. 2 minutes and 45 seconds remain. Big B from AZ says, my bar tab is going to be ridiculous at this pace. He's getting started early in Arizona.
Anyone putting this on the TV at the sports bar, I'm sure the people would love that.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Go down to the Cask and Flagon in Boston and say, tune it to channel Too Tall Toby, will you?
We got to watch the Too Tall Toby tournament.
Instead of college football. Yeah, that would not go over well. Okay, I think
2 minutes left, Pranav. It's from Sahil. That's a message from Sahil. Aaron's side is hidden. Yep, we can bring that back up. Aaron has used up his 2 available answers. So he, at this point, is just kind of looking through, trying to figure out what's going on with this model. What is he missing?
What is he missing?
Pranav, in the meantime, is going through, just making sure that he's got every dimension on there correct. This could be it. This could be, if Pranav can get this answer correct, he's going to win a 3D scanner. He's going to win a USD prize. He's going to win a seat of Alibre. He's going to be in the finals. He's going to punch his ticket for November 11th. So 1 minute and 15 seconds left, and we're going to see what Pranav comes up with here. Looks like now he's running into some errors, some problems. That's not what you want to see when you have 1 minute left. A little bit of direct editing there. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, direct editing is awesome.
And we're down to our final 42 seconds. 42.
Oh, yeah, there's comments I'd like to make, but I won't. I just won't say it. But
and Pranav winding down his time here.
Pranav, yeah, the time's coming down, and
okay, and that's it. That's time. Unfortunately, that's time. So Pranav and AaronC, that is time. And I think I'm going to make an audible here, John. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these guys a little break. I'm going to give them a chance to get their any final jitters out or anything like that. And we're gonna leave this match as it is here with Pranav having 1 point. We're going to switch over to the match between Imants and Jehan Refaa, and we will come back to this match afterwards. To be honest, I'm getting a little worried we're running out of available models for today. So I want to make sure that we give Imants and Jehan a chance, and I want to just kind of mix it up a little bit here and give these guys a chance to kind of refresh themselves. But
yeah,
absolutely brutal battles here, and we're gonna just type in the answer here. The correct answer for that bearing support, 6405 grams, and that's plus or minus 5 grams. So another just brutal battle.
So, yeah, you got some people who got it there. Aaron got it eventually. I don't know if you saw that.
He got it. He did get it there eventually.
Yeah,
okay.
after regulation,
Yep. Okay. And Wilkie here, 33 KB RAM, got it. And okay, good. So we got some people here confirming. Yep, 6405 grams is correct. These two were very close. They kind of wore each other down. Yeah, we're going to give them a chance to break it up a little bit, to give themselves a little bit of a refresher, and then we will be back with these runners at the end of the match today.
Okay.
I know that you're on a bit of a schedule day, John, too, so if you need to cut out before that time comes, it's all good.
I'm telling I just got it totally fine.
Okay.
I'm meeting one of my adult children here in New York City.
Okay. All right.
Totally fine. They understand. They understand what's important.
They know where we are in this tournament. All right, guys. Well,
Too Tall Toby Okay, by the way, I'm going to shut up. Sprint to get.
We're gonna sprint
see
a little
all
bit here,
modeling
guys.
all the time.
All right, here we go. So match number 2, Imants and Jehan Refaa. We're gonna get them on deck here. We're gonna make sure that they are ready. We're gonna see Imants on the left. We're gonna see Jehan Refaa on the right, and we are going to hang out with you guys. Don't forget, guys, like and subscribe. If you see something we're doing here in this match, if you see like Imants on the left using Onshape and Jehan Refaa on the right using SolidWorks, take a screen capture, post that on your social media. That's a great way to help me grow the channel. And let's keep going here with the with this match. We're gonna just jump right in. We're skipping through a few of these slides. Thank you so much to Alibre, sponsoring the red bracket, putting up some prizes for all the runners. And let's take a look here. Imants, University of Washington engineering student, mainly CADs on a Chromebook. Corrected me a little bit earlier. I said he's using the character map in Windows. He said, nope, I'm in Linux. Enjoys bouldering. And Jehan Refaa, our last standing runner from Egypt, an undergraduate mechatronics engineer at Asyut University, and hopes to one day work at Boston Dynamics. Very nice.
Ooh,
very
great choice.
Nice. Yeah, great choice. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick practice match between these two just to make sure that all of our systems are set up and are working properly. So let me get this practice match ready. And here we go. Let's do this one. This is kind of a fun one for the practice match. And let's make sure that this is good here. All right. And so we are going to get this practice match going between these two titans. Guys, get up, stretch your legs a little bit. Grab a quick drink of water if you want while we're doing this practice match, but we're going to be going at a little bit of a faster speed here as we go into this second group matchup here. Let's just make sure this is looking good, and where is this? Here we go. All right, so this practice match between these two runners, practice begins in 3, 2, 1, go. Sorry, I didn't have the thing hidden. 3, 2, 1, go. So what is the mass of this part in 0.xxx pounds? Sometimes the models are in metric, sometimes they are in imperial. Let's see what we come up with here. Both of our runners are in their CAD systems, are modeling this thing up. We got Jehan Refaa on the right. We got Imants on the left. Jehan Refaa running SolidWorks. Imants running Onshape. Look at these two runners coming up.
This is about my level, Toby.
This
one I can do.
The L-shaped part, yeah.
You know.
Okay, so both of our runners get the gist of this. What is the mass of this part? Sometimes the precision is listed at a little bit deeper precision, and so when that happens, we end up with a little bit of a deeper precision here. All righty, and Imants coming in 0.585262. That's correct. 0.585 is correct, and Jehan Refaa coming in 0.59. That is correct. Okay, excellent. And with that, let's jump back into our PowerPoint here. And guys, I just wanted to say real quick before we move on, let's just real quick give a GG to AaronC and to Pranav. These guys are both epic battlers. They did a great job so far. I know that it was a little bit of an endurance trial there, but I don't want to undercut the effort that they put in. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of pressure. I'm sure they're both feeling it. So let's make sure that we give a GG to AaronC. Let's make sure that we give a GG to Pranav. Let's just recognize our runners. They made it all the way to the Elite 8, and it is very impressive. And I know that these models today are a little bit tough. Some of them are a little bit tricky, and I totally understand the struggle. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being in this. GG to both AaronC and Pranav. Before we get into this next match. And we're going to see them again at the end of the matches today, at the end of the stream today. So we're just giving them a little break, letting them kind of get their wits about them before we get into this first matchup between Jehan Refaa and Imants. So let's now turn to the Wheel of Fate.
I'm on just saying the stream froze, Toby. I don't know if you caught that.
Stream froze? I'm still seeing it on my monitor.
There's a message in the chat.
Yeah, I see. Okay, I see him. Okay, I'm back. He's back. All right, good. All right, so let's give this wheel a spin. 4 possible answers. Let's do this. Let's see what we end up with here. Okay. Oh, I was hoping we would get this one. Here we go. We're going to see model number 70. So this is a good one. I think you guys are going to enjoy seeing this one. I think that the runners are going to have a little bit of a challenge. Now, this is the first time we're seeing Onshape go up against SolidWorks today. Jon, do you have any advice or any thoughts about what we should be looking out for in this comparison of the two CAD softwares?
Well, you're going to see, let's get to modeling. I want you to sprint to modeling here, but what I'll say is you may see some of the cool Onshape features like the preview slider and the final button in come into play here.
Okay. All right. I like that.
I would say that's one thing you may notice. You may notice, I'm trying to think what else may come up here that would be interesting. You may see more use of multi-body modeling because Onshape has this great multi-part part studio. We did it somewhat with SolidWorks, but we really did a much better job on this with Onshape. So
okay.
You may see that coming out. But again, I'll make more comments after they start modeling, Toby.
Okay. All right. Well, that was perfect. That's exactly what I needed. So here we go. Excuse me. Here we go. This next CAD battle featuring Onshape and SolidWorks. United States versus Egypt begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in 0.xxx pounds? Wow, we got the perfect practice model, 3-place precision, looking for the answer in pounds. This model is made of ABS. It is utilizing inches as the unit system. Sometimes inches can be a little bit of a struggle. And wow, this model is complicated. This is not going to be easy for our runners, but they both seem to be jumping right into it. So let's flip over to our CAD versus CAD view here. We see that we have got Imants on the left running Onshape. We've got Jehan Refaa on the right running SolidWorks. And although they are running two different CAD systems from two different areas of the world, they both seem to be starting with almost the exact same sketch. X Machine Engineering says, Toby, you're really making them work for it. Yes. Yes, indeed. It is no easy task to make it into the final 4 of the World Championship of 3D CAD speed modeling. And you got to earn your points. You got to earn your points to get in. All right, so we see both of our runners. We saw Jehan Refaa there kind of testing her sketch. I like that. Grabbing some blue points, moving them around. Looks like both of our runners are going to be taking advantage of the symmetry that exists in this part. And so we see Jehan Refaa mirroring that first sketch over, keeping the sketches simple and using those sketches to create her first feature. I like it. I like the simple approach. We see Imants on the left. Looks like he's doing a little bit more of a layout, kind of including multiple features in that first sketch. We'll see if he ends up using that extra kind of embedded rectangle later. And now we see that this particular sketch has an interesting feature, this model, which Imants is now working on the left. The manufacturer, the vendor, the customer said, listen, I need to have a 15-degree line that cuts through the middle hole of this part, the hole that's in that kind of triangular shape, and that also goes up and connects to that circular hole that's up top. So this one continuous line on the print, this is how the customer said they wanted it, and so this is what we're going to try to make for them. And this is what happens
totally
a lot of times.
Yeah, totally reasonable.
Yep. And so we've got
the same with, go on.
Got basically this whole rear end of the part that's all skewed at that same 15 or 75 degree angle. All those lines, there was a magenta note there on the print that said all these lines are parallel. This is what happens, in the real world. And it's so interesting that, again, we've got these two different users, two different areas of the world, two different CAD softwares, and they both are, it's almost like you're just looking at a mirror of the same screen on both sides.
At the moment, yeah. You can see some differences, though.
Sure.
For sure, you definitely see some differences, even though generally same approach here.
Yep.
A little bit of differences going on. I was saying about multi-body, multi-part, part studio, our part studios and Onshape. We really thought about how people work with multi-part, and we wanted it to be excellent for that in Onshape and improve on the way it had been in SolidWorks. That shows up in a couple ways. One, when people, I think people are more free to, to make intermittent bodies, Toby, in Onshape, where you'll say, hey, I'll make a couple or 3 parts, and then I know I'm going to fuse them together into one. You can do that in SolidWorks. I just think it works better in Onshape, and also using the parts downstream. They become real PDMable parts in Onshape. You can release them separately. Say you take an object and you cut it in half and end up with 2 parts. Those are real parts.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing about multi-body. In fact, I just taught a class last week about multi-body, and in multi-body, there's kind of two different areas of working with multi-body. There's I'm going to build the entire assembly in one document, and it's all going to be like one part with multiple bodies that represent different parts of the assembly. But then there's also that whole array of tools that become available when you know how to leverage multi-body for doing complex merging, complex overlapping, complex Boolean type operations. And that's where, I've been really happy with Onshape so far in kind of lending its multi-body capabilities to both of those disciplines.
Yeah, you're right. That was very deliberate on our part by design.
Yeah. It worked out great.
Yeah. And I don't know if we'll see the preview slider or the final button used. I'm not trying to influence Imants' technique at all. I'm just saying those are there. Those can be handy.
No pressure, Imants, but let's see that preview slider. All right.
No. He's got enough on his mind. Don't mess with his mind.
Jehan Refaa is a tough.
I think we've got the. Oh, go ahead. What?
Jehan Refaa is a tough competitor, so I don't think Imants should be wasting any time.
No, can't waste any time here. Anyone who's in this round of the tournament has to be good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think, it might be that they've seen what's happened in the earlier matches and they're being very deliberate here.
Yeah. None of the models anymore are easy, and a lot of them are, they're more than meets the eye.
But I'm watching them here. They're not racing out there and doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But, they're taking their time, getting things right. I kind of like that.
And this model in particular, it's got, there's a couple of weird things that are happening. One of the weird things is with regards to that rear.
A couple?
The rear section of the model having that wall that kind of overlaps, basically where Imants is working right now, that wall that kind of overlaps by one material thickness. At first they look like they're easy, but when you're actually in the software trying to model, those can often cause a little bit of a hang up. And then of course the obvious area that's going to be challenging is that angled tombstone shape, because it's tapering. It's got a constant taper the whole time. So how do you handle that type of thing? And the way it's dimensioned is pretty awkward too. The customer gave us a dimension along the linear edge that's at the front of that tombstone shape. And that's what the customers will do sometimes. And they say, no, it needs to be this wide because it needs to fit with this other part. And then you have to figure out kind of how it grows as it extends along the duration. So.
Yeah. And I'm looking to make sure that you've got. Okay.
Missing dimensions. This is not what I like to hear.
No missing. I'm just checking over the print.
Yep.
Now I took drawing. I learned drawing on the board, Toby,
okay.
1975. And that's how I got into this business. I had an aptitude test. I switched schools to go to high school, and I had an aptitude test. I may have said this last time, but anyway. And they placed me into drafting, and my father said, he was sitting there with the guidance counselor. He goes, yeah, there's a lot of jobs in that. And I'm like, Dad was right, because, I still have a job based on knowledge of, in part, drafting. But I did drafting on the board. Wow. And so when I look at these drawings, it comes back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way to learn. Making views helps you think about construction.
Yes, very much helps you think about construction. And, it's tricky. I mean, I don't want to jinx myself or anything, but we've made it this far into the tournament. I was saying during Model Monday Live, we've made it this far into the tournament, and I haven't so far released a drawing that has a missing dimension.
No, I get it. Yeah, but you got to really watch your drawings, and you've done a good job.
Yeah, thank you. And you really do. It's really easy to end up releasing a drawing, and basically what will happen is when I model it, the first time when I model it, I will use, let's say, symmetry, or a tangency relationship or something like that. Yeah. And then when I model it, when I'm checking the model, it's kind of like my natural tendency to use that type of relationship. But just because it's my natural tendency doesn't mean it's going to be somebody else's. And if that relationship would require a dimension on the print, that's going to be a problem. Particularly with models that are like mostly symmetric, it's very easy to inadvertently omit dimensions when you actually make the drawing. So something for everybody in the audience to look out for. And so now we see Imants trying to come up with that angled tombstone shape, and it looks like he has opted to create that geometry on a non-standard plane, which is a very interesting approach. We'll see if that pays off for him as he's creating this feature. when Michael the Flesh, the professor, and I were doing commentary last week, we were commenting on how, you know, neither of us would make it very far in this tournament, because a lot of times I see people doing things and I comment, you know, well, that's an interesting way. I wouldn't have done it that way, and then it ends up being perfect. And you know,
I have comments on this stuff, but I don't want to influence what our competitors are doing. But when you said you make it on a non-standard plane,
yeah.
I mean, when you say, what do you mean by a non-standard plane?
Well, you can see that extrusion is not, you know, it's not on one of the orthogonal planes. He's had.
Well, you know, yeah, exactly. But you know, again, I'm not going to say anything, you know, because like I have my own thoughts about how I would do this.
Right. Look at it. Look at Imants. He does a search there for the delete face command and deploys the delete face command successfully. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, command search is great. You know, it's interesting. You wouldn't expect to see that in a speed tournament like this. But you know, we try and get those feature dialogues tight on the Onshape screen. We made them tight. We made them movable around. You know, they're really small.
Yep.
And it comes into play when you look at a screen size. I'm noting, you know, just things I'm noticing. That's why I'm here. You know, when I look at Jehan's screen, did I say that right, Jehan?
Mm-hmm.
I hope
Yep.
I got that right.
Oh, sorry.
Jehan's screen.
Imants coming in with an answer.
Oh, it came in. Wow.
Imants has answered 0.307 pounds. That is not correct and not within tolerance. 0.307 pounds. Not correct. Not within tolerance. Imants is going to need to look over his model and see if he can't, if he officially has matched up with all the dimensions on the print, or if he's maybe off somewhere, and he's gonna try to figure out where that might be.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if I should say anything.
You said you noticing, looking around the screen, and you saw Jehan's screen, the layout.
I'm just noticing the Jehan's screen size that Jehan's chosen to model in. You know, see how much of the real estate is consumed by the UI. Now that's Jehan's choice, because presumably Jehan could have used a larger window. You know, but we tried in the Onshape UI. See how small the feature dialogues are. I'm just commenting on that. I was very involved in designing those, and we wanted it to be. We felt it was important to inform the design of Onshape's UI by websites, because we could see that the modern generation of user would be more of their computing would be defined by the use of generic websites and things like Word and Excel and PowerPoint that inform the design of SolidWorks. Yeah, it's interesting to see Imants using command search over and over there.
Yeah, and looks like he's doing some direct editing, trying to just move this over slightly, maybe even using some kind of a formula there. Looks like he's
looks like it. Let's see.
He's struggling to decide how to locate this this feature here.
Yeah, and using a variable too, it looks like. Yeah, variable driven by measurement. That's a cool thing to do, actually. Yeah. I'm looking myself here again. Maybe not being the best commentator because I'm trying to follow along.
Yeah, there's Ty in the chat is making a good point here, which is that I do ask the runners to project in a 4x3 resolution to help kind of fit into the overlay nicely. So that could be accounting for it too.
Right, that 4:3 ratio. Right, yep. Sure. I'm looking myself.
So it looks like Imants.
You see my head flipping back and forth because I have the target model on the print on my external monitor.
Yep. And Imants knows that he's already answered incorrectly once, so now he's really trying to make sure. Yeah, he's really trying to make sure.
Here.
And Jehan Refaa is, just getting through, creating the geometry that she needs, and moving through this. And Mahida is in the chat, says hello Toby, hello Mahida, welcome, thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Great. And I see the professor Michael Flesh sent me an answer. I believe he just shared Onshape doc a little while ago.
And Imants has answered in the chat 0.3446, 0.345. The correct answer is 0.344 plus or minus 0.03. So congratulations to Imants. That is correct.
Good job, man.
Nicely
Good
done.
job.
Very,
way
very
to show
difficult
poise
model.
there.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow,
way to show poise
wow.
after. Hey, Toby, what do you do when someone gets the right answer? I've forgotten. It's been so long. What's it been, like hours?
It's been a little while. It's been a little bit of a run here, but we understand. Aaron Christensen made a comment in the chat earlier. He said, these models are just brutal today. Yep, they are indeed. These are mean parts today, Toby. Yes, indeed they are. Wow, wow, wow. Jehan Refaa struggling with that as well. I almost gave it away, John, when you said, what do you mean a non-standard plane there? So for me, with this model, what I would end up doing is I would end up creating, if you look at that section view AA, I would do what they did. I would create that mean plate the way that they created it. Then I would, from section AA, I would create that line that's at the 15 degrees. It's kind of going through the center of everything. Yeah. Comes over 2.875 to the left, goes up 4.25 to the right. And then that is where I would have created a plane. At the end point of that 4.25 line, I would have created a plane, and I would have used that to sketch that kind of angled tombstone and extruded it along that line, basically, or along that plane. But that would have presented its own challenges. You could end up with zero thickness geometry. You could end up, with extra geometry. You'd have to merge off or delete face off. So, yes, indeed, mean models today for sure. Guys, let's give a GG in the chat to Imants. Let's give a GG to Jehan Refaa. Very nicely done. Let's bring up the wheel.
Yeah, really great modeling, both of you.
Yeah. Very, very nicely done. Let's bring up the wheel. We got 3 answers on the wheel right now. 65, 66, and 72. What do you guys think it's going to be? 65, 66, 72. What do we think it's going to be? Let's add a little bit of levity here. We're going from brevity to levity.
66. Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66.
All right, let's give this thing a rip and see what happens. Here we go. The wheel is sponsored by Alibre. I got Revopoint on there. I got to change that to Alibre. Thank you, Alibre, for sponsoring the wheel and sponsoring our red bracket. 72. Okay. I like this. This is going to be a good one. All righty. Well, now that we have seen these runners go through one time, let's just learn a little bit more about these runners. Imants also recently started working for Onshape. All right. Excellent. He's in with a good crew. And plays saxophone sometimes. Not all the time, just occasionally.
Yeah. By the way, I want you to know, Toby, there's no bias in my commentary by Onshape employees or.
That's good to know.
Good to know. Not that I would bias any. There is none.
Very good to know. Well, that's good to know. And after having watched them do one full battle, what is your completely unbiased advice to our 2 runners?
Stay careful. I like the way both Jehan and Imants. I'm guessing that some of what we saw in this last match was due to them seeing what had happened with the unprecedented streak of wrong answers and saying, really got to focus on accuracy. Yes, speed's important, but really, I would say I would call it deliberate about their progress to try and be very careful. And I think you're going to see, I think you're going to see that continue into this round.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. Yeah, great advice. Definitely important for this particular model as well. So let's flip over to full screen and let's see this CAD battle between Onshape and SolidWorks, the United States and Egypt, begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? This part is called twist bracket, and this is a sheet metal part, but it is not required to model in sheet metal. You can model it however you want. If you don't want to use sheet metal, that's fine. If you want to use sheet metal, that's fine. Is one going to be faster than the other? We're going to find out. So let's flip over to this CAD versus CAD battle. Grab a screen capture of this. Default wall thickness 6 millimeters. Default bend radius 6 millimeters. That means the outside radius is going to be 10 millimeters because this is kind of a sheet metal. The 10 millimeters is not actually specified, but it is 10 millimeters on the, or I'm sorry, 12 millimeters on the outside. 12 millimeters on the outside. Oh, it is specified. Okay. Sorry. Overthinking myself.
Toby.
Okay, yeah, we're good. We're just getting a little fatigued here. We're getting a little punch drunk.
even Toby needs a breather here. Okay,
Yeah,
while they're on,
exactly.
you know. So Imants, I know, seemed to be, I don't know if he was joking. He was saying, oh no, sheet metal, but my guess is he's well prepared. My guess is that's just a little, well, like in the movie, the guy goes, poker, never heard of the game. You know? Oh,
Right.
sheet metal? I can't do sheet metal. Yeah, right.
Right.
Nobody gets to this level without being able to do everything, right?
Ex Machina Engineering looked at this print and said, "Oh, Toby, this could be a breach of the Geneva Convention Treaty." Wow.
What?
Wow, yeah, this is a little tricky part. It's hard to see this part in the print. I noticed that as I was going through and kind of testing the print. It's just kind of hard to see what's going on with the different hidden lines and the different, especially in that front view. It's really hard to kind of wrap your head around this, and that's why it's called the twist bracket. So the twist bracket, we see both of our runners started out by creating this kind of horseshoe shape from the top.
I think if you put a model up here, Toby, that has the word twist in it, I think you have to do the twist.
Yeah.
What does the audience think on camera?
Yep.
Do the Toby twist.
The Toby
It'll
twist.
Be a new thing here.
Yeah.
Let's do the twist.
We'll do that in overtime. We'll go when we get into overtime.
Let's do the twist.
Showing off the dance moves.
I want to see it. Okay. All right, now back. I was attending to some exterior monitor woes there, but okay. Interesting part.
Yep.
Again, as tricky as this is, I have to say, almost a breather compared to some of your other ones today, Toby.
You would think.
It's easy for me to say.
Yep, you would think. See, Raj in the chat is saying, is Onshape free or paid? Lillian answering both. Yep, it is. There is a free version, onshape.com/free. And if you if you start checking that version out and you look at the Onshape YouTube channel, there is a playlist featuring Too Tall Toby where I go through and kind of share my journey.
Yes.
A SolidWorks user kind of moving into Onshape, and you can see what I learned along the way, what some of the key lessons were, some of the biggest tips and tricks that I found moving into Onshape, and then a lot of tutorials, a lot of just step-by-step, just like these models here. In fact, a lot of the models come from my library of how to model parts like this using Onshape in the free version. So definitely check that out. And then when your team is ready, you can migrate onto the professional version and unlock all the true full potential.
Well, what I really suggest, though, just, again, we're not here to promote CAD, but to talk CAD, is if you're a pro, you can get the Onshape free version, but you're missing a lot of the pro features that you're going to want, particularly in PDM, release management, company settings, rendering, simulation, PCB, printed circuit board studio. So what I'd encourage you to do is get a trial of our Pro Edition. We have a program now we call our Discovery program, and you can get into a really nice trial with the Pro Edition. And also we have a startup program. If you're a startup, you have to meet certain criteria. You could be considered for free Pro. And then, I'm not just saying that to sell. I'm just saying if you really want to learn what the system's about as a pro, get into our eval and learn the Pro. And then if it's an economics issue and all you need is the standard, then you can downgrade to the free. But sometimes people start with free and they don't really know all the things. Oh wait, hold on here.
David in the chat. David in the chat said Imants is flying. Yeah, I agree. And Jehan
Imants is moving on this.
Jehan Refaa also doing a really nice job on this thing.
Yeah, Jehan. Jehan, I like the way both of them are moving here. Very methodical.
Yep.
Imants is moving.
Yeah.
It looks like, all his trepidations about sheet metal may have just been a gamesmanship. Toby.
Yeah.
The other thing here in your Too Tall Toby modeling competition, you have to play the course as you find it. There's a phrase in golf about, what's the course playing today? Are the greens? So I hate to use sports analogies.
No, it's all good.
They're anti-diversity, but AaronC says it looked like an illusion. I had the same thought. I didn't say it. It looks like one of those puzzles you buy where the pieces, how do you unlock them?
Exactly.
Well,
we're gonna see if Imants was able to unlock this, and we see Jehan Refaa.
Imants is I'm going to develop a new commentary phrase here, what I'll call shape nominal completion is a point modelers reach, and then they're checking to see is it right, especially on this day of all days. They're saying, is it right?
Imants has answered here with the answer 476.7 grams. That is not correct. That is not correct.
So there's an error. I'm going to see if I can spot the error.
Yeah, it looks like he might be. Looks like what's he doing here? A little bit of offset work. Or
Not sure. Not sure.
just
Move
checking.
face.
But possibly opening the door for Jehan Refaa.
Yeah, well, clearly Jehan has a shot here.
Okay, so Imants answering 476.6 or 477 grams. That is not correct. This is the twist bracket. C. Raj is saying, I'm rooting for Jehan as a fellow SolidWorks user. I like that. I like that. Got to be rooting for these runners. They're putting in a lot of energy, a lot of effort to get this done. Nobody yet. Big B from AZ is saying someone do a one and done. Yeah, I don't think anybody's had a one and done today. I don't think there's been a single, unless Pranav maybe, can't remember if that first one, if he got it right away or if he had to do a second shot at it. Aaron Christensen saying, rooting for Jehan because I want to see 15 matches today. Okay, good. Very good.
Would it really be that many? Toby, do I get paid overtime?
I think we're gonna have to come up with a plan B if it goes that deep. I'm gonna have to go into the vault to find some more challenges.
Oh my
for these
gosh, guys. Toby, have we really been doing this for 2.5 hours?
It's hard to believe how fast this went by.
And everyone is staying.
Yeah.
And watching. It's amazing. Yeah, I can see the trickiness you have going here.
So Jehan Refaa getting in here, adding in the final couple of features. It looks like. Wow, this is impressive. Yeah.
Well, Jehan, you saw is on that UAV college team.
Sure.
In the notes, that's some serious engineering when you're doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and
so undoubtedly is a veteran of making some tough parts.
Yeah, looking to do some robotics, some mechatronics, and looking to maybe end up at Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this approach. Sometimes, you do a fillet. There's different ways you can do a fillet. I like the way she's doing it. Like you said, very methodically all throughout this entire run.
Right. I like that too in this case. Looks like we're getting close to Jehan.
Yeah, Jehan coming in with an answer.
You got a number from Jehan.
454 grams. That is not correct. Not correct, Jehan. Look over your model. Make sure you're not missing any features. Make sure you're not missing any dimensions.
And now we get to kind of
look over that full model. The tolerance is plus or minus 1 gram, 454, not correct. And we got Jehan and we got Imants, both looking over their models, both trying to come up with what's going on. Jehan went through, she was so methodical, so it's it's just a matter of trying to figure out what maybe was incorrectly dimensioned or what maybe is missing from that model. Imants doing the same thing. Looks like we're watching some movie. Yeah, very, very interesting. Don't forget, guys, if you're enjoying this stream, make sure you like. Looks like we got 84 likes, 105 people watching. Let's see what we can do to get those numbers to match
also,
up.
we can do super chat too, right?
We also,
super sticker.
Super chat is enabled today. Super chat is enabled today. If you guys really are enjoying this.
And super sticker too, right?
And super sticker, yep. If you're enjoying this, you can use a credit card down at the bottom of the chat. You can
I love what Toby's up to always. So
yeah, I like Imants.
I think we got to be doing.
I like how Imants over on the left is just saying, trying to determine.
Oh, that's
what could it
funny.
Be? What could it be?
Yeah.
What could it be?
Yeah, come on. We really appreciate
Jehan
what you do,
Refaa.
Toby.
Oh, wow, John, thank you. Wow, you are amazing. Thank you. Well, who else is amazing is Jehan Refaa, who comes in with the correct answer. 452 grams is correct. She was missing those fillets on the back. That got rid of that extra 2 grams. That's what she needed to get within tolerance. So let's give a GG to Jehan Refaa. Congratulations. Very, very nicely done. Wow.
Nice, Jehan.
That was awesome.
Nice job.
That is correct. And wow. Okay. We're going to go to a third match.
Very nice, Jehan.
That's what we like to see. Yeah, we get, it gets boring when the matches only have 2 matches. So we like seeing 3, 4, 5, 6 matches, whatever, however many we need. Very nicely done on that one. Imants, I did not notice what went wrong with yours. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
Either.
Yeah. There was something that went off with this a little bit. I'm not sure what it was, but we will figure it out for sure. All right, guys, let's go back to the wheel. Let's see here. Before I go back to the wheel, John, do you have any thoughts for these runners after that last match? That was pretty close. They both seemed like they were doing everything right.
Yeah, they're both doing, both doing everything right. I'm trying to figure out where Imants went wrong here. He says the chamfered bit was too long. Got to figure that out. But again, I'd say by my eye, a very deliberate style to both these runners, and no surprise we're seeing correct answers. Also, I would say that part was still tricky, but a little less totally demanding than some of the earlier ones.
Yeah. And Jehan won her point last time off a sheet metal part as well. So she's very good at getting in there. Even if they're not being modeled as sheet metal, she's very good at getting in there and doing those sheet metal parts, which maybe comes from her kind of robotics, mechatronics background. All right, guys, what's it going to be, 65 or 66? Let's find out. Here we go. Thank you to Alibre for sponsoring the Wheel of Fate today here in the red bracket. And it looks like it's going to be 66. Okay. Well, let's see what this model has in store for our runners. I think this is going to be another good one. I really like that twist bracket that we had in the last one. I knew that would give us a little bit of interesting, but here we are in our CAD tournament in our third matchup between these two Titans. They've both made it to the Elite Eight. They're both trying to make it into the Final Four, and we are going to see what happens here. Let's get this model ready. What are you looking forward to most in this round?
Me?
You.
A correct answer, because it's nice seeing correct answers again. I mean, I think that kind of when nobody gets the correct answer, it's a little about those long extra inning baseball games where no one's scoring. You're like, come on. So I just like to see correct answers. I think it also makes our contestants happy.
Yes, I think so too.
I'm hoping you get to a correct answer.
All righty. Well, I don't know who's making these models, but they gotta make them not so tricky. Here we go. This CAD battle between. Wait, let me flip over to full screen. Let me make sure I have the thing in. The thing is thing. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. This next CAD battle between Onshape and SolidWorks begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in x.xx pounds? Tolerance is plus or minus 0.01 pounds. This is a connecting rod. Familiar part in the world of mechanical engineering.
Here we go.
Probably something that our runners have drawn up once or twice. There's going to be a couple of tricky areas on this model, but I think this one should be. Tayfun says not too bad. Ex Machina's Engineering says, hey-oh. All righty, here we go. Both of our runners.
I'm just doing a big exhale because finally there's like a part that's just more normal to my eye. I don't know if our audience is like, okay, after these torture tests, it's finally like, okay, all right.
All right, here we go. Imants vs Jehan Refaa trying to create this connecting rod. Looks like Jehan Refaa is starting out here with that kind of lower shape. That's
difference in approach.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Difference in approach here. Yep. Starting out with that lower shape down at the bottom. And Imants is doing more of the, I think, kind of like the overall layout. We see that from Imants a lot.
Yeah.
He likes that overall layout approach.
Yep. And again, if you're, I hope this is okay to say, it could be heading toward a multi-body. Like if I were modeling some of these things, and again, I would not last in this tournament, one round, unless you have an old guys who don't have a lot of skill division. Then I could compete. Hey, I'll bet if I trained up for it though. I did do some models to practice, by the way. I did a couple of your models earlier this year just to practice.
Well, it's great, a great resource. We have if you sign up on the Too Tall Toby website, you get your wallet filled with some Too Tall Toby cryptocurrency, and you can use that in the general store to buy a 10-pack of practice PDFs. So
Too Tall Toby cryptocurrency. Yeah, we are fancy.
Oh
and
yeah,
trendy here.
We're going for it here. It's a full experience.
Too Tall Toby crypto. What do you call them? Toby coins?
TTT Cash. It's called TTT Cash. So
TTT cash. Oh, I got to get me some of that.
Yeah. Well, if you sign up for the website, you get 100 loaded into your wallet for free.
Toby, don't become the Sam Bankman-Fried of the CAD industry, please.
No, ours is not about get rich quick. Ours is about community and history, really. Like what we're trying to do there is community history. So, for example, the 10-pack of PDFs that you can buy from the general store, which you buy with the free TTT cash. They have a label on each of those practice models that says, if you're in education, you can use this however you want. And so one of the people who's a member of the channel, Jern, his name's Jern, he runs and is helping develop a piece of 3D CAD called Build 123D. And that's kind of like open SCAD, where you build entirely using a coding interface. So you actually build 3D models using a coding interface. And so they created a section of their tutorials called the Too Tall Toby section, and then they're using those practice models prints in that section. Yeah, there's lots of good practice here. And if you're going through and you're practicing building these models from the tournament or building the models from the practice models videos, this is your chance. Osuma saying CAD NFT when. We do have NFTs on the site as well. Again, they're not going to get you rich. They're never going to be worth anything, or almost certainly never going to be worth anything. But they do kind of show the rich history that we have in the Too Tall Toby community. Going back to the old days when we had Toby's Tech Talk before we had Model Monday Live. There's an NFT that highlights the Ivan exploit. There's an NFT for Bodie McBoat Pants. There's an NFT for the sketching song, which was released over 10 years ago.
Oh, the sketching song NFT. Oh man,
sketch song.
Anyone looking for a holiday gift idea for moi? That would be
the sketching song NFT.
No, I don't know. I'm not collecting NFTs yet, Toby. The sketching song is an all-time classic.
It is an all-time classic. Yeah, but that's a long ongoing project, again, meant to really capture the lore of the Too Tall Toby experience.
So it looks like Jehan is out of the gates with a little more solid geometry this time.
Yeah, Jehan really doing a nice job with this
really
part.
Happening here. But Imants is moving along, and I have a feeling, like usual, things can happen quickly when you get that, Sketchmaster done, and boom, 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 geometry happens quickly. So,
and we see the different color coding in Onshape letting us know that Imants was using multi-body there and then merged it all together back into one. That's something I really like that Onshape does. When you make a second body, it auto,
very common technique.
Indexes.
Very common technique.
Yep.
To go multi-body and come back.
Yep. Very useful to be able to see it. So this is really neck and neck here, and once again, both of our runners are at the same point in the model, creating the same feature in the model, trying to come up with kind of this final, this final section of the model. Very interesting.
Well, but using similar, it's a similar build order, but some different feature strategies, I would say. A bit of different feature strategies here. See how we're doing there. Yep, using some. Wow.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so excited. So, hey, Toby, like we all owe you a debt of gratitude for doing this.
Oh,
you put a lot of work into it, more than anyone else. And, someone's got to say that. So that someone is me.
Well, it's very kind of you. And the pleasure is all mine. I mean, this is something that I really enjoy. I really enjoy spreading the word. And really, like, what it is that we're doing here on the channel is we're trying to help with almost the gamification of a true skill. You're developing a true skill. You want to do a game, you want to have a fun time learning a game, that's great. But if it's a game that you can roll into a skill that you can use to get a job or to get better at your job, get some true recognition. I think that's really, like, honestly, that's almost, when I look at what we're doing here, I think to myself, like, this is how the internet was supposed to be used. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be building communities.
Positive thing.
Yeah, building communities.
It's so positive
with people. Yeah, who are going to actually build a trade. Something that can be used to make the world a better place. Some of these people who are running the tournament today, in 5 years, they might be making something that helps with pollution, or that helps us with with travel, or that helps us just to communicate or be more well connected, or more mentally healthy, or whatever it is. Mechanical engineering could be at the core of so many problems and so many solutions. And so
Yeah, absolutely.
This is what it's all
and
about.
what's going on there? Let's see what. So Moss is doing some modeling there.
TG in the chat says, "So glad I stumbled upon this channel today." All right, TG, welcome.
Oh,
thanks for joining
new
us.
to the channel, huh?
Yeah, you came in for a good one.
First timer, welcome. Big bell ringer for the first timer.
Yeah, big welcome.
They say on Sports Talk, long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you're going to get anyone who's like, I've watched forever, but I never write a message. And they're going to write a message. Come on, we got any long time listeners, first time chatters?
First time chatter, long time listener, first time chatter.
When you tune into sports radio, I've listened to a fair amount in my life. People they'll call in and the host will say, "Oh, wait, looks like we might be getting a number here."
Looks like we're getting a number here, and it looks like Jehan Refaa coming in 3.76 pounds. That is not correct. Not correct. The tolerance for this is plus or minus 0.01 pounds. Imants coming in with an answer 3.904. The correct answer is 3.91. That is correct within the tolerance. So congratulations to Imants. Wow, what a battle. Congratulations to Jehan Refaa. We're going to give Imants the victory cat as well. Wow, wow, wow. GG. And my goodness, what a battle between these titans. My goodness, my goodness. So close on that one. Jehan Refaa, I think that the man, that was just so close. You were so close to getting that last one.
I was watching Jehan's model. I didn't see anything wrong with it.
I think that maybe those bosses that are at the tip of the connecting rod were circular and they were supposed to be more like slotted. I think that might have been, that was the only thing that I really saw. But other than that, it was so
bosses
good.
At the tip. Wow, and again, got to be very careful and deliberate. What was Imants doing there as his celebration, that screen flash?
I don't know. Maybe
what was that?
Moving between tabs or something. I'm not sure what he was doing.
What kind of thing was that? Like jiggling the cable on the monitor?
I think exactly. That's what it looks like. Wow. Well, great job to Imants, and congratulations for securing that victory and establishing himself as the winner. Yeah,
really great job, Jehan.
To Jehan as well.
Clearly a talented modeler.
Yeah, making it all the way through to the Elite 8, making it all the way to this final, taking Imants for 3 matches. Very, very nice. Very nicely done. Congratulations to Jehan.
Really close.
And congratulations. And Jehan's still going to get a seat of Alibre, Atom 3D. So we'll be in touch with Jehan for that. And I think with that, we are going to go into a little bit of overtime.
Pranav had dinner.
Okay, good. Have my dinner. I hope I'm feeling refreshed, he says. Okay, good.
It's too tall. Toby provide contestants with a like Uber Eats or Grubhub gift card if the matches run long, so they can get a pizza or something delivered. That's what we should do.
That's exactly what we should do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are gonna have some food at the live event on November 11th. So of course.
Now, would this be a good time for me to take a quick break, Toby?
Absolutely. Yep.
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. Cool. Well, again, I want to say, congratulations. Thanks so much to everybody for sticking with me. Don't forget, like John mentioned, the Super Chat is available. If you want to throw some Super Chat donation this way, it's always very much appreciated. It goes a long way. Even if it's just a couple of bucks, it helps me understand that the chat appreciates what we're doing. I know you guys all being here helps show me you appreciate it too. Don't forget also to like the video, comment, add a comment afterwards, comment on, all the comments are very helpful for the algo also. And AaronC in the chat coming through with that super chat. Thank you so much, AaronC. He's not only a competitor, he's also a super chat donator. So thank you so much. And Pranav, thank you. Yep, I appreciate it as well. Appreciate all you guys being here. I'm not sure if you were saying thank you to me or thank you to the chat, but either way, I do appreciate you guys all being here. And I think I'm gonna just dig into the vault here for a minute and see if I can find some other models that will maybe allow us to, if we need them, we're gonna need them. So let me see what I can do here about coming up with some other models here that we can maybe use. I think I have some stuff in here. You guys are just gonna have to stand by for a minute and we will see what we've got as far as other stuff that we can show you, that we can challenge you with. I think yeah. It's all right. We'll figure this out. We're going to figure this out together, guys. Don't worry. Guys, keep chatting. We're good here. Appreciate you guys giving me your attention throughout this, and we are going to be going back to live here in just a minute. We're going to be getting Aaron and Pranav back up and running. I'm seeing what I can do as far as kind of some backup examples in case we go beyond the initial matches here. So just kind of getting some stuff ready here, making sure that I'm ready in case we go beyond. So I think I got a couple here that'll be good candidates for this in the event that we go beyond the initial matches here. So I'm just making sure that I've got these files ready. See if this one will be good. Yeah, that one will be good. Okay, and let me see if I can get one more here that I think will be good. In case we have to go to some additional challenges. We want to make sure that we got those additional challenges ready to go. Let's see here. This one's always good. Yeah, this one will be good too. Okay. All right, I think I have a couple of additional challenges here that'll be perfect for this in the event that this match goes on beyond our runners here, beyond our final wheel, our final wheel challenge that we've got here. So let's get our runners ready on screen here. We're going to end up seeing AaronC on the left and Pranav on the right. We're going to end up seeing, it looks to me like we've got Pranav. It currently has 1 win. So Pranav currently has 1 win. So there we go. We'll reset that, and we'll make sure that we've got this set up for our sponsor here, Revopoint, sponsoring the green bracket. And let's get our runners up here on the PowerPoint. And here we go. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much for sticking with me through this. We are going into official overtime. I don't think we've done this yet, but I think we handled it perfect. We're going to get this ready. There's only 1 print left on the wheel, so we're not going to go to the wheel this time. We know what it's going to be, and it is going to be... Oops, let me make a note here. Still just live streaming here on the screen intentionally. This one was Imants. Congratulations to Imants. Moving into that final 4. That is awesome. And so that leaves us with 1 final part here for these runners, and... hate to break it to you guys, but it doesn't get any easier. This next one's gonna still be just as difficult. So strap in. We're gonna see if these guys can handle this part, and if not, I do have some backup parts ready to go, and we will take a look at those as our backups. But I think we're gonna be good to go here for this, and let's get back.
I'm back.
Our special guest host is back. Our co-commentator is back, and we're gonna jump right into this. I hope that our runners are ready. I feel like everything from a technical front is ready. We're going to see AaronC on the left. We're going to see Pranav on the right. SolidWorks versus SolidWorks. United States versus India. Sudden death for AaronC. AaronC does need to get this point if he wants to survive. Pranav can get this point and become the champion of the green bracket. Jon, are you ready?
I am ready, Toby.
Okay. All righty. Well, we are going to jump over to our full screen view here, and this CAD battle between SolidWorks and SolidWorks, United States versus India, begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? Tolerance on this one is plus or minus 1 gram, and this is not an easy part, that's for sure.
Really now? Like we've had easy parts today, huh?
We're gonna switch things up a little bit here and having...
Oh, it's not an easy part, Toby.
Yeah,
huh?
We're gonna have a not easy part here. Switching things up a little bit. Both of our runners look like they're jumping into it, trying to come up with a solution, but this is not an easy part. And let's flip over to our CAD versus CAD screen here. Yep.
Oh man, another one, Toby.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to see, but that main kind of outer face is tapered. It's conical. You know, that's I think what makes this a little bit of a tricky part is figuring out how to include that conical geometry in that main almost vertical face. We see AaronC.
Where you're saying conical geometry on which almost vertical face?
Just the kind of the largest face, the largest round face that's running up the side wall. Yeah. It's
conical, you mean, as opposed to being a cylinder.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's obvious. I mean,
well, that's good to hear. I'm doing the drawings right
now. It's not like, a degree of draft angle.
Sure.
It's pretty darn obvious. That it's, but I get it. I get it.
Yep. It can be hard to figure out, how to get that geometry in place. It looks like AaronC is taking an approach, taking the approach of looking at this thing almost from a section view, where Pranav is looking at it more from the top down.
Yeah. Interesting strategies. I have my feeling. I'm going to step off video for a moment.
Okay.
Brewing a little coffee here.
Yeah. Good move.
Not that I need it.
Look at that shirt. That's a nice shirt you're wearing there too. Wow.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
My shirt?
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
there you go.
Up.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys
for those of you who don't know, you can order your Too Tall Toby t-shirt, right? Online, right?
That's right. That is exactly right. You can order that.
Yeah.
Too Tall Toby shirts. Limited supplies right now.
And an excellent holiday gift for friends. I sent one last year to, I don't know if I should say, I'll say somebody who, I sent one of these to somebody who is well known in the Onshape support community.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. I don't know if they want me naming names.
We can just call him LG.
Yeah.
To protect his anonymity.
Call him LG.
Call him LG. Yeah. Life skill.
Who is one of the all-time great people in the CAD community.
Yeah.
Is the person I'm talking about, who's a friend of both of ours and just a fantastic person.
Yep. And been around for a long time, helping out in the CAD community, and I learned a lot of moves from LG. I got to actually work. Yeah, I got to work under him for a little while, and he
kind of famous.
Yeah, he really knows his stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I'm enjoying watching them each develop this model here. I'm looking here, seeing some interesting things.
I'm going to say that I feel like AaronC came into this one with a plan, and he's really sticking to his plan. And I like that.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that when you've done a lot of practice models, I think, this one you'd say, okay, I know how I'm going to approach this one.
Yep. A lot of the models in the tournament, at least I try, have a lot of variety. It's not all like you're just doing bosses, you're just doing extrusions.
Oh, yeah, you got to be prepared. This is like it's like a decathlon of modeling.
Right.
You can't just be good at one event. You can't just be good at I'm good at, castings or sheet metal. You got to be a multi-tool player.
Right. It's almost like a world championship of CAD.
Careful here. It's these little things like I noticed what they're doing now. These little details.
Aaron had a plan. Yep. He was ready. Very impressive.
Ready.
Very, very impressive from Aaron there. Kind of knew exactly what to do with that feature.
I see, there's so many tricky things in this part here that you've built in. I see, again, they're all tricky unless you're paying close attention, and they're not.
Yeah. Welcome to engineering. That's how it is. You get your first part back from the vendor and, go to fit it in where it's supposed to fit and it doesn't fit. You only make that mistake about one time. You get a batch
one time per part.
You get a batch of about 400 bad parts, and the owner needs to come down and visit you at your desk. You don't want that to happen more than once. You don't want it to happen at all, but that happens.
You don't want it to happen. In today's world also, Toby, speed modeling, I'll tell you what's timely. I think we're getting close here.
Yes.
But in today's world, time is shorter than ever. This is what I hear from customers.
Yep.
is nobody has more time than they had 5 years ago, right? Nobody has, well, we have more time to do our work. No. And also responding to change, you know, back, you know, another, you know, your tournament's great as it is, but you could also have people make things and say, okay, now change it this way.
Right.
You know, have a two-step.
Yeah. I think that's a format that lends itself more to in-person modeling, because you can hand the individual the change. A little bit more tricky.
Yeah, and so we're close here.
Very close. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we have Aaron coming in with an answer 1191. That is not correct. That is not correct.
Wow.
Not correct. So Aaron has come in with the first answer, 1191. That is not correct. So we're going to see Aaron revising this model, looking for anything that, you know, ended up being out of line in some way. He's going to try to figure out whether it's a missing feature or whether it's a bad dimension. He's going to try to figure this out. Pranav really struggling with this one, it looks like, but kind of looks like maybe revising his plan, coming up with a different approach here, but looking like he's maybe leaving himself with some undercut geometry he's going to have to deal with. Give these guys a little bit of music here. Help them through. Okay, a lot of llamas coming in with a super chat. Thanks a lot to a lot of llamas. Thank you.
Nice move.
Awesome.
Tell you what I'm going to do, Toby. I'm going to do, because I'm a real fan of what you do.
Okay.
I'm going to do a little match mode here. If anyone's super chats or super stickers, I'll match it for a few minutes.
Whoa.
I mean, I don't know what the limit is,
John,
but here,
wow,
I'm just going to say, if you're going to do 10, I'm going to do 10.
Wow. Man, thank you. Appreciate that. Very much appreciate it. Goes a long way. And
awesomeness. Yeah, I put match in support of TTT's awesomeness.
Wow.
Right?
Nice.
I didn't even know what these super stickers in chat was. Okay, let's stay back in the competition here.
Here we go.
You know, I'm too absorbed in these prints to be a good commentator. I just get, I'm like, is that right? I'm like a checker. You know, I should work in the checking room. AaronC looks like he's preparing another answer. You better choose carefully.
Yep, we're watching.
All right, there we go, Nico. All right. I promised I'm matching, man. I'm matching.
Okay, AaronC coming in with an answer here.
And
1185, and that is correct. So congratulations. Oh no! Imants coming in $100. Wow!
What? Wait a minute. I gotta go now. What?
Let's go.
All right, hold on here.
Wow, man, everything's
$100.
Congratulations to AaronC for getting that point. Congratulations to Imants. Congratulations to Too Tall Toby. Congratulations to Nico Carne. Wow. There's so much going on right now.
We got a lot going on here. Whoa! All right, Imants, man.
Wow!
I opened my mouth about the match.
Oh my goodness! Wow, you guys, thank you. This is this is getting intense. All right, GG to everybody.
You spend a lot of time doing this. I mean, and you're gonna need to put in some overtime making more model stuff. You went through the whole inventory.
Exactly. Yeah, that is the thing. I got some overtime models to prepare now. So, well, thank you guys. GG to the winner. GG to AaronC. We are still going here. 1 point to 1 point. We're going to sudden death. This is truly intense. Yes, indeed. I'm gonna try to get the next model ready. I'm going to be pulling this from a different source, so just give me a second, everyone, to get this all ready. And wow, thank you guys.
There you go, Toby.
Wow,
I wasn't blowing the smoke here on the sponsoring.
Wow.
On the matching.
Thank you. AaronC, $5 coming in.
Yeah.
We got Jon Hirschtick coming in, $100. Thank you.
I got to set a time limit here. Oh my goodness, guys.
Zachary Network, 1.56.
Blowing up.
Love it. Thank you, guys.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
this is what
Aaron.
we needed.
All right.
Thank you.
Toby, you keep going. You keep going with the action. I'll deal with the matching here.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. I'm gonna get the next model ready here. You're gonna want to probably come up with that time limit. Maybe you want it to be like by the time the next match starts or something like that. You can decide accordingly. And I am gonna keep going here. Thank you guys so much for all of this. I'm just looking for the directory here. This is.
Okay, matching.
1 second here.
Aaron. Wow, Imants. Man, Aaron, you guys coming in with these matches.
Wow, Pranav coming in 200 units of, I don't know what those are, ruples?
I do not know. We're going to find out.
We're going to find out, yeah.
Pranav.
Thank you.
Whoa. Too Tall Toby, I got to say, does it make Too Tall Toby history that someone gives a super chat in the middle of being a contestant?
Yeah, that is actually, I want to give credit where it's due. That does happen actually fairly often. The runners are really supportive of all this. Yeah, it's such an awesome community. Yeah, and I'd be remiss if I didn't give them the shout out they deserve.
All right, so, I got to match the Zachary Network here.
Okay, here we go. This is the one that we want right here. Okay. Little delay there. Find this print. And I think we are ready to go. I'll look for the rendering of this afterwards because I got to go to a different directory for that. Or actually, I'll just get it now. All right, here we go. A little bit of on the fly adjustment here, everybody. Appreciate everybody's patience. Thank you guys so much for this. Thank you so much for all of these contributions. Thank you, John, for matching, getting this going. We're going to keep this going until the next match starts. I swear I'm not going slow on purpose. I'm just trying to find the other directories where I've got these files. So we're going to keep this match train going until we start the next match here. I'm going to browse here, and we're going to go here. Okay, and then that's going to be this one. All right. Whoops. That wasn't supposed to be up there. Oh, it's not up there. Okay, good. Thought I was just like Rich Penn coming in, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Rich Penn. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Eric coming in, CA20. Thank you so much. John, thank you for all the matches.
Canadian dollars. Okay, even I know that.
Canadian, yep. All right. And Pranav coming in 200.
I got a match.
200 ruples.
CA20, Eric.
And thank you. Tayfun coming in, Australian, $20. And let's get back to this next match. We're going to close out this donation train match. We're going to switch back over here to this one. Thank you so much, Tayfun, another competitor from the tournament. Thank you so much. And here we go. We're going to get into this next matchup now. This next CAD battle between AaronC and Pranav. This is going to close out the donation match from John. John, thank you so much for all those donation matches. Okay. That's awesome.
It'll close out the donation.
Closing it out right here as we start this match. I appreciate you guys. Great. That was an excellent way to kill some time. So thank you all so much. I need
someone to audit it. Will someone volunteer to audit it and make sure I didn't miss any?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. And here we go. Let's flip over to our full screen. Let me make sure I'm not showing it by accident. Okay. Here we go. Let's flip over to our full screen. All right. This next CAD battle between these two titans begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? And this part has a tolerance of plus or minus 5 grams. And here we go. Both of our runners are getting in here. The match donation period is over. Thank you all so much for those donations, for those super chats. Thank you so much, John, for instigating that donation train. Very much appreciated. And both of our runners are in the CAD, creating this model. Let's see what they come up with for this thing. We see here Eric notices this one. He remembers this one. So awesome. Good luck to both of our runners going through here and modeling this thing up.
Okay.
Not an easy model, but maybe
not easy, but a little more reasonable, Toby.
A little more reasonable.
Exhale a little bit. Yeah, it's like okay.
These guys have been working so hard today, so let's give them just a little bit more reasonable model.
There's no left-handed thread going on here. I'm sorry, making that up. Like that's like you ever deal with parts of the left-handed thread? It's like who designs this stuff?
Yeah. Man, what a matchup we've had today, guys. Thank you again. Thank you so much to everybody for being part of that donation train. Thank you, Jon, again so much for instigating that. That was awesome. Wow. Very much appreciated.
You're welcome.
We might even be able to get some better food for the live event now.
Oh, you're looking for a food sponsor for the live event?
Food sponsor for the live event.
I think we might be able to work out a little honorarium from the student fund. If you can tell me what movie that line is from, Toby, you'll get some food sponsorship. But you got to tell me what movie that line is from. An honorarium from the student fund. All right.
The only thing I can think is maybe like Animal House or something like that.
You got it. Animal House. Perfect, Toby. You got it. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to do some sponsorship, either me or Onshape. We got to talk about that offline.
All right.
I have some food ideas for you.
Yes.
I might get into a little editorial on the menu. I have some ideas that might be good.
I'm in. And you guys, if you guys were watching that exchange, just remember, if anybody asks for a quote from a movie, the answer should always be Caddyshack, Animal House, or Ghostbusters. If you're not sure what movie it is, just pick one of those. Jeff S in the chat types $20 Toby. All right, appreciate it, Jeff. I think he's gonna give me that in person. I know Jeff personally, so thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. All right, guys, let's get back to the CAD here. I'm sorry, I've been letting us get a little distracted.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
So
we see a member of the Complex Sketch Club going on here.
Yep. And AaronC on the left.
Not that complex, but
just decided to model that entire base in one shot, and he's done with that. So nicely done.
It's interesting to see, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the. I got to be careful here.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want to say anything too bad, but
yeah,
that could, but.
Wasn't sure if I should maybe flip this part upside down. I don't think I like that. I think I like it better like that. It would hang from the ceiling, this part. Be some kind of like a pulley hanger or something like that. Just modeled differently in the 2D print. Vishnavi is saying, all the best, Pranav. Very nice. Very nice. Both of our runners neck and neck here. They both have that base plate created. They're both creating that kind of angled tombstone shape.
Yeah.
AaronC is either stuck or locked up. I think I just saw him move again. Let's see, he might be stuck. He might be locked up. We might be seeing. Okay, he's moving still.
No, he's moving.
Just thinking. Just thinking. Yep. Okay, good.
And these guys are you've got talented competitors today.
Very talented.
Toby.
Yep.
All of them. All four of them today. I'll give a shout out to Jehan because I'm guessing, I don't know what life is like in Egypt, but my guess is it's not as, may not be as vibrant and rich a CAD community as some of our, our US people get to be around. And so may take even more effort to get good.
Yep. And she made it all the way. She went through a lot of tough competitors too. Even right from the start, she was going up against Mr. Alex, and Mr. Alex has been doing a lot of the speed runs, been doing the leaderboard tournaments, and also has been doing the Model Monday live challenges, and has been doing great in all of them. And Jehan, just the thing I would say about Jehan that I noticed through all her matches, very, very consistent. She's very, very consistent.
Yeah.
She's just, she's just getting in there,
also,
creating the CAD, answering correctly.
Oh, good. Very consistent.
Very consistent,
that's it. And thoughtful. And so, big shout out. Like I know Pranav in India, I know there's a ton of great CAD users and developers in India.
Sure.
That's for sure.
Yep.
And, Onshape has a big development team in India. SolidWorks has a big development. I don't know what SolidWorks does these days, but back in the day, had a huge amount of development done in India. Same with Onshape. Onshape has development done worldwide. India team has been super. Big shout out if anyone from Onshape India team is there in Pune. My friend Raul, who's here we're getting some numbers coming.
Okay, and so AaronC coming in with an answer, and that answer is the Re190 grams, and that is correct. So wow.
Ooh.
My goodness.
Wow.
What a set of matches. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whew.
So awesome. That was such an awesome set of matches. It was fast. It was impressive. Wow, look at that victory celebration. Looks like he might have one of those space navigators. Wow, that was incredible. Wow, man, what a great matchup. Make sure everybody in the chat gives a GG to our runners. It was so impressive from both of our runners, AaronC, Pranav, Imants, Jehan Refaa. What an epic set of matches we saw today. I am just blown away by the quality of our competitors today. It was just so good all around, and super excited to see our champions of their brackets. AaronC moving on as the champion of the green bracket, and Imants moving on as the champion of the red bracket. Guys, let's give a huge GG to all of our runners today. Great job. Congratulations. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. AaronC coming in with another $10. Thank you, AaronC. Such an amazing tournament, Pranav. Such a pleasure going up against you. You are amazing. Indeed, Pranav. And congratulations to Pranav getting a seat of Alibre Atom 3D. So we'll be in touch with you about that. And thank you, Jon Hirschtick, for the super chat as well. Super chat.
Well, that was my last match. I think.
Super chat MVP. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, it was a match donation. Thank you for the match donation.
Match donation. Yeah.
All right, and guys, don't forget, if you want to support the channel, like and subscribe, share and reshare. If you liked what we were doing today, go back, grab a screen capture, or even better, watch the recording. Maybe leave a comment below when you watch the recording, and grab a screen capture, and then share that out on your social network, saying this is really cool. We saw some Onshape versus SolidWorks action. We saw some SolidWorks versus SolidWorks action. This is really cool. And thank you all so much for the super chat train. Don't forget to sign up for your free account at tootalltoby.com. Don't forget the t-shirts, the softest shirts in the CAD game. They are slimming. They really help you do CAD faster. There's just something about these shirts that really truly helps you to do CAD faster. Yep. And we got we have testimonial here from Jon confirming these are the shirts that you want. Hold on one second, Jon. I'm just getting you back in square here. I had a whoops, let me just get this. I want to make sure I give you the proper framing here. All right. Here we go. Little on the fly adjustment there. That's what we needed. What do you think? Good matches today.
Tell Toby is talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Cool. And so, guys,
that's great.
Next week, 2 weeks from now, November 11th, we're going to see the semifinals, the finals, and a new world champion will be crowned. You can view that at the tootalltoby.com/calendar. And on that day, we are going to see Ivan the Reasonable going up against AaronC. We are going to see Victor K going up against Imants. We got 3 SolidWorks users in the Final Four. We got 1 Onshape user in the Final Four. And if this sounds familiar to you, it should, because this was the same configuration we had last year. We had 3 SolidWorks users. We had 1 Onshape user, a fellow member of the household, the older brother of Imants, was in the same configuration last year. So we'll see. Yeah, history possibly repeating itself. We're going to see. This is really interesting. So,
and all software that I is dear to my heart. SolidWorks or Onshape are both products. One's a little younger though.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we got the younger brother software too. So very, very cool stuff. Awesome matches today. A real marathon. Jon, thank you so much. This was awesome. I always enjoy hanging out with you so much, and this was just
yeah,
great.
me too.
Thanks for sticking with me. I know it was a marathon, but it was really exciting the whole time. Yeah.
I just, loved it. Loved seeing the parts that flew by, actually.
Yeah.
And great job. Really incredible match.
Thank you. Yes.
Incredible matches. Yeah.
Very tough matches today from everyone. Thank you all so much. Thank you to the amazing chat out there. You guys are all amazing. Be sure to come back. I'll see you guys. I'll be on live Monday, Model Monday Live, 1 p.m. We'll be doing some Onshape modeling up some of these parts. Everybody says thanks to Jon in the chat. Thank you, Jon, so much. This was great. Great seeing you in here. And everybody, we will see you November 11th, the Final Four. We'll see everybody there. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Bye-bye.